Hey guys, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel. Today we will see what if Naruto fall in love with Uchiha princess. If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments. When Uchiha Sasuke was born, the entire Uchiha clan celebrated her birth for a week. There hasn't been a girl born into the main family since generations before the clan joined Konoha. Makoto gently cradled Sasuke, who was only a few days old, as they took her to the Amaterasu shrine and presented to their patron goddess. It's a ritual that is reserved for the main line girls of the clan and therefore one that has not been performed in many generations. The rest of the clan gathered in an excited happy knot outside the temple, waiting for the moment the family will walk out together with the priestess and proclaim the judgment of the goddess upon their newest member. Itachi was allowed to hold Sasuke while the priestess drew a soft line of ash down Sasuke's forehead and proclaimed her future. This proclamation is important for the Uchiha not only because Sasuke will be the first girl in so many years, but also because her future is already wrapped up in old traditions of the important role of mother of the clan. Her parents, and Itachi too because he's far too smart for a 5-year-old, are also privately aware that a favorable proclamation will go a long way to settling the Uchiha considering the current tensions with the village at large. The priestess hums a little as she gently cups Sasuke's tiny face in her old, smooth hands. Itachi keeps a firm grip on his baby sister, who is calm as long as it's him that's holding her, already seeming to favorably recognize him. It makes Itachi far prouder than he feels about anything else, including training. Fugaku-sama. Makoto Haim. The priestess' voice is smooth and strong despite her age and the incense smoke in the air. Your daughter is very special. No one interrupts her as she turns to the main flame burning at the center of the temple, letting out its smoke through the vents in the ceiling. The priestess throws a handful of colored glass beads into the flame as an offering, and when she turns back, she's smiling. Your daughter will ensure the Uchiha do not fall into ruin. She will showcase admirable strength, though she will go through trials no Uchiha before her will ever have experienced. She will marry the strongest warrior the shinobi world has yet to see, and she will uphold the Uchiha name to the end. The priestess bows her head briefly. That is my proclamation. Fugaku gets down on his knees and the rest of the family does the same alongside him, even Itachi, who is still cradling Sasuke to his chest. He bows deep, pressing his forehead to the floor. Thank you, he murmurs. The priestess smiles. I will give my proclamation to the rest of the clan now. Take heart, Fugaku-sama. Your daughter will ensure the flourishing of the clan. Later the priestess repeats her proclamation word by word to the Uchiha outside, and despite the cheers that rise up and the way that the entire clan celebrates long into the night, Sasuke stays soundly asleep in her big brother's arms. Sasuke is raised with all the love the entire Uchiha clan can pour into her. She's a daughter of the main line, and that means she is the future mother of the clan despite the fact that she's not the heir. She will be Itachi's strongest support as the years go on. She will be his second, his rock, filling that space that he can't. Soft power to his hard strength. Itachi is already a formidable warrior even this young, and as everyone gossips and discusses and speculates about who Sasuke will one day marry and what trials she will undergo, it's already very clear that the training Sasuke will undergo will be different. Sasuke is a naturally happy child, friendly and charismatic with a draw even at this young age. Makoto and Fugaku look at her and see an opportunity. Sasuke can be something different to Itachi, no less important but fundamentally different, and it has to start early. Makoto spends time teaching about the other clans and the relations between them because as the mother of the clan it will be Sasuke's responsibility to manage the relationships between the Uchiha and the village. It is a hard task, but Sasuke is naturally vivacious and happy. She laughs a lot and loves her big brother above anyone else. She's cheerful and encouraged to be that way. The clan adores her, their little Uchiha princess, their Sharinganheim, the future of their clan, the one who according to the proclamation made by their priestess will ensure the strong continuation of the Uchiha. Sasuke is still too young to understand all the nuances of her role within the clan, but she accepts the love that is freely given to her and returns it with all the enthusiasm she can. Shisui holds her small hand in his as he takes her out to the big playground in the center of the village. Things in the clan have been peaceful recently, with the Uchiha placated by the assurance of a better future through Sasuke. Shisui still isn't completely sold on how real the proclamations are, But the Uchiha are steeped deeply in tradition, and it's not that he doesn't believe. It's just that the gods seem awfully quiet considering they're shinobi and face gruesome death on the regular. In fact, many have been saying recently that the strongest warrior their little princess is destined to marry must be him. Fugaku-sama has of course been holding off on arranging any betrothals for Sasuke, saying that she will find this spouse on her own, which everyone accepts. Though it can't stop the speculation. Shisui is maybe the strongest warrior in the clan currently, a rising star with the Mangekyo and a bright future ahead of him. He's also distantly enough related that marriage to Sasuke isn't completely inconceivable. But right now, Sasuke is a happy 6-year-old, tugging on his hand as she insisted he take her to the big playground outside of the clan on his day off. Itachi was off on a mission and Shisui was her favorite playmate when her beloved Nii-san wasn't around. Unfortunately, there aren't many children Sasuke's age in the clan, so her playmates all tend to be a little older than her, which just means she continues to get spoiled. Shisui Nii, but how could he not spoil her when she was that cute? Sasuke beams up at him with her delicate Uchiha features in her chubby baby cheeks, and she's so adorable Shisui wants to snatch her up and cuddle her so that she never has to go through the trials that she was proclaimed to have to deal with one day. Yes, Sasuke-chan? Shisui asks teasingly. Can I have ice cream? I don't see why not. Just don't tell your Ka-san, okay? Shisui winks at her and leaves Sasuke by the sandpit where there's a group of a few children playing that she seamlessly manages to insert herself into before heading over to the small ice cream stand to get Sasuke her favorite, half a scoop strawberry sorbet, half a scoop sesame in a cone, and his favorite, which is a sugary mess that makes even Itachi raise an eyebrow. There's a little queue, so he waits casually and makes conversation with Inuzuka Hana, who's off duty due to an injury from a past mission. She's around Itachi's age and they're kind of friendly when they see each other. She's pretty, so he flirts a little and she gives back twice as good as she gets. Shisui turns his face to the bright sunny sky and lets it warm him. It really is a beautiful day. Sasuke happily helps the other kids in the sandbox build the castle. She doesn't get to play with kids her own age much, which is fine. She loves her family and her clan, but it's nice to be able to play in the sandbox. Itachi Nii would do it if she asked, but he's older and always training and so strong she doesn't really want him to waste his time in the sandbox. We should add another tower. Aiko-chan proclaims and another one of the girls nods. Where do you think it should go, Sasuke-chan? One of the other girls asks. Sasuke has noticed that people tend to defer to her when it comes to things which her father had explained to her was good and important. She was an Uchiha, and they were a strong clan. She should command respect wherever she went. On the left side, she proclaimed, it'll look nice if we dig a moat around it too. Ooh yes. One of the other girls declares and begins digging without question. Hey, a blonde boy who wasn't there before has come up to the sandbox, can I play with you? He asks, his wide blue eyes are hopeful. Sasuke is about to open her mouth to say yes when Aiko-chan beats her to it. No, you're the demon boy. My mama told me to stay away from you. That prompts a flurry of similar exclamations from the other kids in the sandbox, and Sasuke watches as the boy slumps and then just turns away without another word. The other kids continue playing regardless once he's gone, but Sasuke feels a little uncomfortable despite their seeming ease. Tu-san always told her that she should not waste her favor as the Uchiha princess on those who weren't deserving, and Tu-san meant that she should only be nice to people who are powerful, and she doesn't know who this boy is, so she really shouldn't care. But he had whisker marks on his cheeks, which could be a sign of a Kekkei Genkei, and it's not as though any of the kids on the sandbox are anyone important. She would know. Ka-san has already made her memories all the different clan heirs because that will be her job in the future when Nii-san becomes clan head. Sasuke considers it. It's not like she wants to play in the sandbox much longer anyway, and Shisui Nii was getting her ice cream. She stands up then, my Nii-san is getting me ice cream. I have to go, she tells the other kids. They all wave and tell her they want to play again as she leaves. That had been another lesson she had learned from Ka-san. Don't alienate others unless you have a reason to. As Sasuke quickly makes her way over to where Shisui Nii is paying for the ice cream, she sees the blonde boy sitting at the base of a tree looking dejected. She hurries a little and all but snatches her ice cream out of Shisui Nii's hands when he spots her. Whoa, Sasuke-chan, I didn't know you were so desperate for ice cream. He teases. Shisui ni. Sasuke says, can you go sit on that bench over there and not bother me? Shisui blinks at that. Sure Sasuke-chan. Any particular reason why? Sasuke hums determinedly, I'm going to talk to someone. The other kids were mean too. Oh, okay, have fun. Shisui really is silly as he grins widely and points to the bench in question, I'll just be over there. He exaggeratedly heads off to the bench and Sasuke rolls her eyes a little like she's seen Itachi do when faced with her big cousin. Shisui ni is weird. Holding her melting ice cream she goes up to the blonde boy. Hello. The boy looks up at her and immediately a wide smile overtakes his face. Sasuke feels her heart do a little thump, thump. He looks like her favorite kitten that roams the compound with those whisker marks and the way his eyes scrunch up when he smiles. Hi, I'm Uzumaki Naruto. What's your name? He eagerly shifts to make space for her next to him. Sasuke carefully sits down on the dusty ground. I'm Uchiha Sasuke. The boy, Naruto, doesn't seem to have any outward reaction to her name, which makes her wonder. He, and his parents, can't be oblivious to who the Uchiha are. She's the Uchiha princess. Everyone knows who she is almost on sight. She thinks hard. Uzumaki, where has she heard that before? It comes to her in a burst of clarity. Uzumaki was the name of the Shodem's wife. She looks at Naruto consideringly. Maybe he is someone important. She holds her ice cream out to him. Do you want some? Naruto's eyes go very wide. Really? Yes. Sasuke hands him the cone. It's strawberry and sesame. Those are my favorite flavors. Naruto beams and takes a big bite of the ice cream, which is a little annoying because it means there's way less for Sasuke. Oh well, she can always get Shisui ni to get her another one. It turns out that's what she needs to do anyway, since Naruto single-handedly demolishes the cone in a few seconds. Oh, sorry. He looks sheepish. It was just really good, and I haven't had breakfast, so I was really hungry. Sasuke blinks at him. Why didn't you have breakfast? I ran out of cup noodles and the mean man at the shop wouldn't let me get more. Naruto makes a face. Oh, Sasuke doesn't really understand. Why don't his parents make him breakfast? Before she can ask, Naruto is leaning forward into her space. His eyes are very, very blue. You're super nice, Datbeo. Wanna play ninja with me? Sasuke nods then. Okay. How do you play? Naruto explains the complex game to her that involves rocks as kunai and lots of tree climbing. As the afternoon wears on, Sasuke realizes that Naruto has very good stamina and that she needs to start training more because this boy who hadn't eaten breakfast is better at climbing trees than her. Despite all that, it's still fun. Naruto is loud and smiley, and when the sun gets low, and Sasuke knows that Shisui ni is going to come and get her any second, she tells Naruto she has to go. He pouts a little but still beams and gives her a tight hug. You're my best friend, Sasuke-chan. I can't wait to play with you again. Sasuke has actually had fun, more fun than she usually has at the playground, so she hugs him back. I like playing with you too. I'll play with you if we see each other at the playground again. Which causes Naruto to nod rapidly. Sasuke then runs back to where Shisui is sitting on the bench talking to two other ninjas. Shisui ni. Home time. This must be the little Sharinganheim. The man on the left says. He has a bandana on and a senbon sticking out of his mouth. Yup, this is our little Sasuke-chan. Shisui picks Sasuke up, which makes her gasp a little and settles her so she's sitting on his shoulders. She relaxes into it and digs her fingers into Shisui's curly hair. The other ninja beams brightly. So good to see a young child fully imbued with the power of youth. He gives Sasuke a thumbs up that she returns because it seems to be the right thing to do. Surprisingly, it sends the man into a fit of dramatic tears and subsequently Shisui and the other ninja into fits of laughter. Shisui just grins then. Well, I gotta get the princess home, so I'll catch you guys later. He gives them a quick salute and then says rather conspiratorially to Sasuke, how about a rooftop journey, Sasuke-chan? Sasuke beams and pulls his hair in agreement, and Shisui keeps his word, even throwing in a few flips between rooftops that make Sasuke shriek in excitement. It had been a very good day. It turns out that good day ends up being the last time Sasuke is allowed out of the compound in a while. A lot of stuff happens after that which she doesn't fully understand from the bits and pieces she manages to pick up until it's all explained to her a few years later. All she knows is that one of the village elders, a man named Danzo, has been accused of stealing a Sharingan, and then from there everything spirals horribly. Shisui Ni almost dies, and Sasuke will never ever forget visiting him in the hospital and seeing her big cousin look so pale and sick against the white sheets. Itachi had held her hand the entire time and hadn't let her out of his sight for a second. That had been the last time Sasuke had been allowed out of the compound, and a small part of her is fiercely glad she never had to see Shisui like that again. For a year things in the compound are tense. She's not allowed to go out alone because Danzo had been stealing clan children for a shadow organization named Root. Itachi always looks exhausted, and she almost never sees Toussaint. Big changes happen, and the Hokage even visits their house once, though Sasuke doesn't meet him. The clan is almost over the top protective during this time, as if they're scared something bad will happen to her. It's a relief when her Ka-san tells her she's going to start the academy when she turns 8. The weeks before the academy turn into Ka-san quizzing her on the clan heirs again. There are a lot of them in her class, and Ka-san makes very clear that after everything that happened, Sasuke now has a chance to improve the Uchiha clan's relations at a deeper level. Sasuke nods and takes this very seriously. She won't let her clan down, and if it means she has to make friends and be nice to these people, then she can do it. She can help her clan. The morning she starts the academy, Itachi, Shisui, Toussaint and Ka-san are all there to see her off. It's a show of strength that she doesn't quite understand. Her family is still a little edgy about allowing her out on her own, and she doesn't realize at the time that this is a clear warning of how many powerful protectors she has should anyone want to harm her. After a bit of a drawn-out goodbye, Sasuke walks into the classroom and wonders where she should sit. She recognizes a lot of the kids there by virtue of the lessons Ka-san had drilled into her, but the boys look a little gross. The Inuzuka is picking his nose, and the Nara heir is asleep while the Akamichi heir is stuffing his mouth with chips. The Yamanaka heir has been eyeing her almost predatorily alongside a few of the other girls in the class, and Sasuke isn't sure why. She's just spotted the Hyuga heir and decided to sit next to her, despite the fact that she looks quiet and shy when she suddenly hears someone call out, "Sasuke-chan." She looks towards the voice and oh. It's the blonde boy from the playground the last time she had been allowed to go. That feels so long ago. Maybe an entire lifetime ago. She waves a little in reply. She can't remember his name, and he beams wide and bright. Cute, Sasuke thinks. He looks like a kitten. He's very, very cute. He gestures to the seat next to him, and Sasuke takes it without thinking too hard. She maybe shouldn't have, but now at least she can't be seen to have specifically snubbed anyone. She can spin this as a strategic move in her head. He then turns that full wattage smile on her, and this close-up, it makes Sasuke feel warm inside. "I'm so happy we're in the same class, Sasuke-chan. I looked for you at the playground loads of times, but I never saw you again, so I'm so happy you're here now. I promised myself that I would play with you again, and Uzumaki Naruto never breaks his promises." It was very helpful of him to give her his name. Now that he has it, twinges at Sasuke's memory. Uzumaki is a powerful surname, and despite the fact that Naruto is wearing threadbare clothes, it's a name that pops up again and again in Konoha's history. It's the reason why the ninja uniform has a spiral symbol on it. Her mother's best friend was also called Uzumaki, though that's something she overheard rather than is supposed to know. She had asked Itachi about it once, and he had given her a considering look and told her that the Uzumaki were a powerful clan from Uzushio, a hidden village in Whirlpool that was destroyed in the Second Great Ninja War. He hadn't told her anything else. She smiles back at Naruto. "I couldn't go back to playground after that time, but it's okay. Now we can see each other in class." Naruto looks as though he might be in a paroxysm of ecstasy at that remark, and he squirms like a happy kitten. He's so cute. Class is very easy for Sasuke. She's been training with her family for years and is therefore almost effortlessly good. Well, that's the way it always seems for the Uchiha, effortless. There is natural talent in there, of course, but there's also relentless training at the hands of Konoha's many prodigies and war heroes. Sasuke has her Ka-san and Toussaint and Itachi ni and Shisui ni and Izumi-chan, and every warrior the Uchiha has to teach her. Making friends also turns out to be very easy. Most of the girls have a crush on either Itachi or Shisui, which is a little weird, but it means she doesn't have to try at all to be popular amongst them. The boys are a little harder, but again, Sasuke just has to be a little impressive at sparring, and Inuzuka Kiba is excitedly asking to wrestle during break time. which she has to say no to because she's the Uchiha princess and it would be unseemly, but she can still share training tips with him and pet Akamaru. The Nara and Akamichi are both easy-ish. She's nice to the Akamichi and snaps at someone when they call him fat once, and that's enough to get the Nara on her side too. The Hyuga heir is painfully shy but nice enough, and spending time with her is hardly a chore once Sasuke reminds herself how important the Hyuga are in the politics of the village and how a good relationship with the future heiress will benefit the Uchiha greatly. Being nice is something that comes semi-easily to Sasuke. She's not nice to people unless there's a reason to do so, that's something she had learned from her Toussaint. But having people like her isn't a bad thing. It makes class nice and comfortable for her. She doesn't like it but she doesn't dislike it. It's complicated. Well, there's one exception to the being nice rule. Naruto is maybe her favorite part. He's loud and can be annoying, but he's also unfailingly loyal to her to an almost extreme degree. One time one of the boys in the older years mocks her hair, and before Sasuke can do something, because she's the Sharingan princess and she can deal with idiots on her own, Naruto launches himself at the boy and breaks his nose. The teachers have to intervene in the end and Naruto gets detention, which he doesn't seem to mind at all. He was being mean to you, Sasuke-chan. And he was wrong anyway. You have the best hair ever. And it makes something in Sasuke pleased to know Naruto would really go to any lengths for her. Besides, it helps that Naruto is very cute and actually quite strong despite being bad at ninjutsu. The years at the academy are fun when she can spend the time after class exploring the woods with him and playing ninja when they have the time. Naruto always looks at her like she's amazing and special, and he's not a clan heir, so she doesn't have to watch what she says or does in front of him. With Naruto she can fall while climbing a tree or wrestle him in the mud or stick her tongue out at him without any worries about propriety. Besides, there are a ton of things she doesn't quite understand about Naruto. Why he seems so close to the Hokage, why he's been living alone for so long, why people call him a demon, sometimes behind his back, why he seems to have endless chakra and such bad control. It doesn't all quite make sense together. There's an answer just out of reach, and if Sasuke knows anything from all her years of clan training, she knows that Naruto is more important than his bad manners and dirty clothes make him seem. As the years go on, Sasuke tries to train him in the things she learns from her brother or something she sneakily watched him and Shisui doing, and when Naruto fails at doing the clone jutsu again and again, she runs the hypothetical scenario past Itachi, who offers up the shadow clone jutsu for someone who may have too much chakra and not enough control to do the regular clone jutsu. She then goes to Shisui and asks him to teach her the hand signs. She lies and says it's for a project at the academy on different variations of clone jutsus, which Shisui believes because he's tired after having just gotten back from a mission and Itachi left for a mission this morning, so they can't talk about it. Itachi would never let Shisui teach her any dangerous jutsu. Shisui is always more blasé about this kind of stuff anyway, and he teaches her the hand signs but tells her it eats up loads of chakra, so she shouldn't use it if she's depleted. Sasuke promises not to. She then teaches Naruto the jutsu and watches as he fills the forest with more than 100 clones. It might be the most impressive thing she's ever seen. Naruto is strong. It doesn't shock her exactly, but it's interesting. He grabs her then and spins her around, calling her the best friend in the whole world and my favorite person ever. Sasuke has always been important to a lot of people, but she likes being Naruto's favorite person, and kind of playful rival now, a lot. They all graduate, even Naruto, who tells the examiners he copied the shadow clone jutsu off someone on the training fields at Sasuke's suggestion, and Sasuke decides to throw a graduation party at her house. She suggests it to her parents, and they are immediately supportive. Ka-san is very proud of how many friends she's made out of the clan. Sasuke understands that's been her role this entire time. She's just doing what she needs to for the sake of the clan. Truth be told, Sasuke only really wants Naruto there at the party, but she has a sinking feeling she won't be allowed to invite him. People don't like Naruto for no reason she can seem to figure out, and she doesn't want her parents to realize how close they are and forbid her from seeing him too, so she's never brought him up to her family. Everyone in class treats him fairly neutrally since she's friends with him, and the Uchiha name really does have influence, but a lot of people still do avoid him, and she suspects some of the teachers they've had would have been outwardly discriminatory to him if she hadn't stubbornly sat next to him all the years they were at the academy together. When it comes time for the party, She hands her father a list of the graduates and watches as he reads it. She knows when he reaches Naruto's name because he sighs a little. I'm afraid Uzumaki Naruto won't be able to be invited. That's not fair. Sasuke points out, and to her surprise her father nods. I agree. But there are deeper political reasons as to why. This is not a personal snub against Uzumaki-san. There's a reason why everyone doesn't like him. Sasuke says. This whole time she's come to the assumption that it's something to do with his Uzumaki heritage, though she doesn't understand what. Yes, the reasons are not valid but not completely unfounded. And no, I cannot reveal them to you now. They relate particularly to the Uchiha clan, and we would be putting ourselves at risk by inviting him into the compound at the present moment. Fugaku says in response to her mouth opening. She shuts her mouth when he talks about putting the clan at risk. After everything that happened before, everyone is particularly sensitive about putting the clan at risk in any way, and she knows that's her father's trump card. She can't argue with that. He then sighs and places a strong hand on her head. I'm proud of you, Sasuke. You have done what no Uchiha before you have done. This party will be the first time all these clans have gathered on Uchiha land. Sasuke nods to that. Her heart sinks a little thinking of Naruto and telling him he can't come, but she needs to trust her father. She needs to trust her clan. The next day she hands out invitations to each of the graduates personally, tracking them down where she thinks they may be. Ino and Sakura at the flower shop, Choji and Shikamaru cloud watching on the hill, Hinata's invite she hands to the Hyuga guard at the gate, and so on. She approaches Naruto at the end of the day. He's her last painful stop. As usual when she visits him at his apartment, that he's been living in alone since he was 5, he flings open the door and greets her with almost disproportionate enthusiasm. Sasuke-chan. He immediately ushers her inside and begins clumsily making her tea. Do you want something to eat? I could make you some ramen if you want. No way, if I ate as much ramen as you I'd die. Sasuke fires back. She likes that Naruto isn't a clan heir. She can be mean to him and it's fine. Naruto pouts. You're so rude, Sasuke-chan. He puts a steaming mug of tea in front of her and then immediately plops down next to her and begins showing off his headband and talking excitedly about being a genin. I really hope we're on the same team, Sasuke. You're my best friend and I don't know who else I would want to be with. You could always end up with Shikamaru. Sasuke teases. Naruto groans. No. All he would do is just nap through missions. What about Ino? She'd spend the whole time yelling at me. Kiba? Dog breath's not too bad, but he's kind of annoying. Pot meat kettle. Sasuke deadpans and Naruto flushes. Oi, who are you calling annoying? Sasuke laughs and Naruto scowls and tackles her. It's a familiar routine by now, though the part after she's laughingly let him pin her when he's gazing down at her for a beat too long is new. Sasuke-chan. He says very softly. There's something in his gaze that she can't quite parse out. He's looking at her very intensely. Sasuke blinks and pushes him off so she can lever into sitting up. What is it? Nothing. Nothing at all. Naruto laughs a little fakely. Nay, Sasuke-chan. He says, switching the subject. I heard you're throwing a graduation party at your house. Sasuke's heart pounds. She really doesn't want to say it. Yes. She can't quite bring herself to continue, but before she can even try to say anything else, Naruto cuts in. I think it's better if I don't come. People's parents can be weird around me. I don't want to cause any trouble for you. His big blue eyes are so earnest. Naruto. Sasuke says, it's such a neat conclusion to her troubles, but she feels so abruptly sad. Nay, don't worry about it, Sasuke. Maybe we'll be on the same genin team and we'll get to see each other all the time. I'm just happy you came to visit me and that you even want to invite me. He's so honest it's painful. Sasuke doesn't know why he accepts so little from her with no complaints. She does speak up then, stupid. She mutters, reaching out to cuff the side of Naruto's head, you're my best friend too. The smile Naruto gives to that is equal to the rising sun. She and Naruto end up on the same genin team. It's amazing. As the months go on, Sasuke finds comfort in Naruto, who seems to have such an incredibly high opinion of her for doing nothing at all and yet has placed no expectations on her. The clan on the other hand seems to expect more and more from her, in a very well-meaning way. They talk about potential betrothals and her training, and she can't say one thing to someone without everyone knowing about it the same day. It often feels stifling and she would try and escape to Naruto's tiny apartment more often if it wasn't common for people to ask, Sasuke-heim, where are you going? Or, Sasuke-heim, where have you been? It's never malicious and it's always with genuine caring curiosity, but that doesn't make it easier. Her parents don't say anything about that, but their silence feels even worse because she knows they're proud of her and think she's good enough and expect more as a result. The Uchiha princess shouldn't be spending extended amounts of time alone in private with the village pariah. Especially as she's growing up into a woman which everyone keeps reminding her about. Itachi is the only person she feels like she can really talk to, but he's almost always busy with long dangerous missions, and she feels like the small windows of time when he's home and resting shouldn't really be spent with her complaining to him about all the random annoyances that are on her mind. Their team sensei is Hitaki Kakashi, and both Itachi and Shisui give her the full lowdown on him being a lazy, late pervert. Itachi is kind of friends with him from being in Anbu together, which she's not supposed to know about, and Shisui too. Also from Anbu before he joined the MPF. Her mother and father pull her aside when he's assigned to her team and tell her everything about her cousin Obito and the Sharingan in Kakashi's skull. Sasuke has heard of the copy ninja before but never quite absorbed the fact that Kakashi had a Sharingan. Her mother makes very clear that after the whole incident the clan perhaps handled Kakashi badly. Here, like it seems to be Sasuke's role in everything, is the Uchiha's opportunity to bring Kakashi into the fold as much as possible and integrate this lost Sharingan back into the clan. Sasuke needs to make him like her and make him closer to the clan. It's a lot, but Sasuke does her best. Kakashi is often invited over for dinner when he stops by to sometime pick up or drop Sasuke off, and he accepts maybe a quarter of the time. Sasuke thinks he does like her, maybe a little, though he's hard to read. They're both lightning affinities. He's not the best teacher, but she has Shisui and Itachi and every other Uchiha warrior, so that doesn't matter that much to her. Her Ka-san also makes food for both him and Naruto that he never tries to refuse. She makes it for Kakashi because she often tells Sasuke that you need to be good to the people that have power over you, and it's a strange kind of bribe Sasuke knows. She's been trained in people her entire life, and she sees how lonely Kakashi is under everything, how isolated and in pain, and these little things are affecting him perhaps far more than ever Makoto Uchiha realizes. Sasuke feels a mixture of fear and pride at the power she can wield, and Naruto because her mother seems to have a strange soft spot for him that seems almost nostalgic. Sasuke thinks it has something to do with the dead Uzumaki best friend she's not supposed to know about. Now that her and Naruto are in the same genin team, she can openly be friends with him and invite him over and go to Ichiraku's with him, and their relationship is no longer restricted to the academy or the woods where there's no one around, or his apartment when she can sneak over. She has an excuse to be so close to him that no one can question, and it's fine if she invites him over the compound now alongside Sakura. Whatever political considerations her father had mentioned seem to matter a little less every day. It's stupid, but Sasuke has learnt that politics and the like is a very time-dependent thing. Some things only need a matter of months to change completely. As for the other member of their team, Sakura isn't bad. She still has an almost debilitating crush on Shisui Ni, though in all honesty that doesn't affect their day-to-day training all that much apart from her occasionally bugging Sasuke about his favorite foods and whatnot. The good thing is she seems to take Sasuke's lead when it comes to how to treat Naruto, and she's fairly nice to him. She's also determined and smart and best friends with Ino Yamanaka, important. Overall, Sasuke likes her genin team, and the more time she spends with Naruto in particular the more he feels like's a safe space. To Naruto she's not the Sharingan princess or the mother of the clan. The whispers of that have only gotten louder as she got older. To Naruto she's Sasuke-chan, my best friend who's awesome, and occasionally, Sasuke-teme, when she's teasing him or fighting with him. He likes to listen to her talk about anything and everything, and he never gets offended when she insults him or, in her more awful moments and she knows she's doing it, but she can't stop herself, takes out her frustration on him either with words or with physical violence. He always gives back as good as he gets, and he never treats her like she's made of glass or fragile. If she hits him, he'll hit back, if he can catch her. There's no obligation with Naruto, she doesn't need anything from him in the name of the clan. On balance everything is good. The Uchiha are thriving and doing better than ever. Inter-clan relations are starting to improve. People are being nicer to Naruto. Her genin team and sensei are nice. Despite the missions, Itachi looks less stressed as the weeks go by. And, of course, that's when it all goes wrong. Sasuke screams as Orochimaru's teeth dig into her shoulder. She can distantly hear Sakura screaming too somewhere behind her, and in the vague middle distance she can sense Naruto's warm chakra burst into a flaming inferno, but she's in too much pain to pay attention. The burning black chakra zips through her system and she feels the anger rise from her core. Sasuke isn't an angry person, but suddenly all she can feel is the weight of the expectations placed on her since birth. The latent resentment that's always lived beneath her surface is suddenly bubbling and boiling, and the only thing she can focus on. But no, Sasuke is the daughter of the main line. She needs to stop. She tries to claw free, but she's paralyzed, and the last thing she sees is a burst of orange out of the corner of her eye and a howled, "Sasuke-chan." From a voice she feels like she should recognize. Sasuke's awareness of what is going on is vague at best. She knows she's angry and in pain and that she wants to fight. She knows she hates everything and everyone. The exact reasons are fuzzy, but they don't have to be complex. The cursed seal Orochimaru gave her converts every sliver of negativity she had ever felt before into something twisted and ugly. Something that defines every part of who she is. She hates, and that is who she is. Orochimaru is always there, pushing chakra into her and whispering into her ears. Stroking his hands up and down her arms and slithering his way into her mind. Sometimes she isn't sure where his will starts and hers ends. It's always easier to give in than fight. When she isn't angry, she feels a little like someone has flicked an off switch within her and she just shuts down. Sasuke has been too well trained by the clan, too perfect as a main-line daughter, too brilliantly obedient to her parents and clan to fight too hard. It almost goes against her very nature. Orochimaru seems delighted at the ease at which he can control her. Sasuke doesn't have the brainpower or energy to care. The almost 4 years she spends with Orochimaru are long and yet pass in no time at all for her. Her body changes, she becomes taller and her limbs longer. Her fighting style becomes more and more fluid through the training the Sannin puts her through. She gets older, though she can barely track the difference when she's not completely aware what's happening day by day. Orochimaru himself cuts her hair shorter than she used to wear, fingers running through the strands as he snips away. He talks to her when she's around him. She rarely pays attention or knows what he's saying, but it doesn't seem to matter to the man. Orochimaru's control of her is not wholly perfect. She gets angry at him too, though that seems to be the extent of her rebellion, and she spends the time he's not using her for something. And using her sometimes includes simply keeping her around, sitting on the floor while he works or talks or reads, like a pet or a child, sedated and in chakra-binding restraints just in case. He's still going to take her body one day, he keeps telling her that. Sasuke doesn't focus much, and then one day she opens her eyes back in Konoha. Sasuke. Itachi is the first person she sees. His face is gaunt, and he has deep dark circles. Sasuke. He clutches her hand. "I'll get Tsunade-sama." Sasuke turns her head and watches Shisui leave the room. "Oh Sasuke." Her mother strokes her face. "Sasuke baby." Her father is shaking on her other side and his eyes roam her face greedily. "How are you feeling, Sasuke?" Sasuke doesn't answer. She'd been put under genjutsu more than a few times when she was with Orochimaru. Not anything like this, but she doesn't want to waste energy talking to ghosts. Not reacting was always better and easier. Besides, the Uchiha are never this effusive in public. If this is a genjutsu, it's a poor one. She turns her face into the soft pillow and closes her eyes. She goes back to sleep before the doctor comes. The next time she wakes up, it's dark outside and her family is still there, sleeping in the seats next to her bed. Her father must be awake though, because in the dark she can see his Sharingan activate as he looks at her. "Sasuke, do you need anything?" he whispers. Sasuke doesn't answer. It's strange. All she had felt was hatred for so long. Her images of her family had been vicious nightmares, and those had been what had fueled her when Orochimaru sent her on those bloody killing sprees. She was his prized fighting dog, and sometimes he would send her into the pits to destroy a hopeful competitor's chances of freedom. She was always silent, always deadly. The memories are strange without any film of emotion attached to them. But now that the haze has lifted, Sasuke can remember almost everything, and it horrifies her. Every awful, horrible, terrible detail of the things she had done. Done because she wasn't strong enough to fight it off. Sasuke puts those thoughts out of her mind because if she dwells, she'll drown, and she doesn't have any kind of life raft. She would rather this be a genjutsu. She closes her eyes and goes back to sleep. Tsunade of the Sannin finishes her diagnostic scan. Her body has healed completely. There should be no aftereffects of the seal on her body, and as Jiraiya confirmed yesterday, he can't sense any lingering chakra. Makoto bites her lip, she still hasn't said a word so far. Fugaku has an arm around her as if to comfort her and looks very grave and very worn. Sasuke has gotten very used to them talking about her while she's there as if she can't hear them. She supposes that's her fault for staying silent during the past 2 weeks. But she can't speak. If she speaks, that means waking up, and waking up means facing reality, and Sasuke wants to linger here in this in-between space a little longer. She doesn't have any desire to go anywhere or do anything. Any desire had bled out of her a long time ago and was replaced with Orochimaru's blind obedience and her own misplaced hatred. Sasuke is tired. So tired. Itachi is still holding her hand and she keeps her fingers limp within his larger ones even as he gently squeezes. He's been here every hour of every day the past few weeks, holding her hand and making sure she's drinking water and swallowing down broth, and he also talks to her. Words upon words that she doesn't listen to. Sasuke has convinced herself this is a genjutsu. Itachi never had this much time for her when she was a child. And it wouldn't make sense for him to have this much time now that he's older and maybe even getting ready to step into the role of clan head soon. We have no idea what kind of damage this long-term use of the cursed seal might have done to her mind. Tsunade sighs, or what she experienced with Orochimaru. It may take time for Sasuke to return to the way she was before if she ever does. You have to be prepared for the worst. Sasuke is simply exhausted and can manage nothing for her family but deep apathy. To hate so viciously during her time away and have that hate buoyed by Orochimaru, who would put her under genjutsu where her family were monsters. It's hard to adjust to them being here now, and she's uncertain of how to feel about them, if this is even real at all. She tells herself it's not real because if it isn't, that means nothing is real, and that's a better thought. She feels a little like any purpose or place has been taken from her and that she's simply drifting. Rudderless and anchorless. Makoto moves back to her bedside. Sasuke baby. Her mother murmurs, take as much time as you need, okay? We're here, whatever you need. Itachi squeezes her hand hard, like he's done again and again over the past 2 weeks, and her father nods seriously. Sasuke doesn't react. I recommend we run some mind diagnostic jutsus tomorrow, potentially by a Yamanaka. Tsunade suggests. Fugaku sighs, yes, I was thinking about speaking to Inoichi anyway. It's a good idea. Sasuke keeps her gaze on the ceiling. It's stark white. What about seeing her team? Itachi suddenly says quietly, Naruto and Sakura were the last people she saw before Orochimaru abducted her. If the cursed seal has affected her memory as we suspect, then maybe it would be good for her to see them. Tsunade hums thoughtfully at that. It's not a bad idea. She concedes. We could even do it now. Kami knows Naruto's been camped outside of her room since she was admitted. Makoto huffs a laugh then. I feel so guilty every time I pass him, and he asks for news. He's done so much. Fugaku sighs. We had thought less disruption would be better for her, but now. He looks at Sasuke, who is still lying prone. Maybe. He turns away from his daughter. If Naruto-san is outside, we could try it right now. There's a nod from Tsunade and then she opens the door. Gaki. She calls and immediately there's a clatter outside and the breathless sound of someone skidding to a stop outside the door. Ba-chan. What is it? Is Sasuke okay? Has there been any change? Naruto says very quickly, the words practically tripping over each other. Tsunade chuckles a little at his enthusiasm. Don't look so excited, Gaki. No change so far, but we think it should be fine for you to see her. Maybe it would even help. There's an intake of breath. Really? Fugaku then speaks up. Yes. Really? He clears his throat. Naruto-san, you fought to the near death to save my daughter. We are all in your debt. Please, come see her. For both of your sakes. There's a beat and then Naruto enters the hospital room. Sasuke is still lying there with her eyes fixed on the ceiling, so she misses the way Naruto shyly shuffles closer to the bed, eyes greedily drinking her in. Finally, he sits down next to her. Hi Sasuke-chan. Something about that sparks something in Sasuke's memory and she turns to the new figure. His big blue eyes gaze down at her and a starburst of memories explode in her mind. Orochimaru had never touched her memories of Naruto. There was never any point. He was simply the genin teammate. No one special. No one ever knew just how much she loved him, her best friend. To sever any connection to Konoha was to sever her connections to the Uchiha, so Naruto remained an untouched oasis in her memories with no negativity attached because there was no inherent negativity when it came to Naruto. Naruto had never put pressure on her or wanted her to be a certain way. She had liked Naruto because he was Naruto and she liked him. No complexity, no ulterior motives, nothing for negativity to fester in. Naruto was simple and easy, and as Sasuke gazes at his whiskered face right now, she's hit with déjà vu because he had kissed her? Or no, someone else kissed her and she imagined it was Naruto. Or did Naruto really kiss her? Someone had kissed her, and she had closed her eyes and pictured blue eyes and whisker marks, and she hadn't considered it at the time, but that was Naruto. Lots of people had tried to kiss Sasuke when she was with Orochimaru. Everyone had wanted a bite out of the Uchiha princess that trailed after the snake Sannin. Orochimaru had never been one of those people, and Sasuke is sure with the others she had never let it go that far, but she has the distinct sense memory of soft lips pressing against hers. It's a soft memory amongst the horror, and suddenly Sasuke wants nothing more than to kiss him again. She wants a piece of that softness now. If Naruto was here smiling at her, then this wasn't a genjutsu, because Orochimaru would never show her Naruto in a genjutsu, and Sasuke hadn't spent the time away thinking about Naruto, but now as she looks at him, she wants nothing more than him and the sudden peace he inspires in her. Looking up at his open face with the adoration he had always worn so openly, she sees her life raft. Before she knows it, she's crawling her way out of her tangle of hospital blankets, and she's had nothing but sponge baths, and her hospital gown is riding up around her thighs, and she can hear shouts of alarm. But she moves as fast as her training allows her and wraps herself around Naruto, burying her face in his neck. She can't help the tears. Someone had kissed her, and it hadn't been Naruto, because this Naruto smells different from the one in her memories, and he was also more solid. Older. He was sturdier, and he wouldn't give if she squeezes him too hard. He can prop her up. Naruto. She murmured into the skin of his neck. It was warm and soft, and when she breathed in deep, he smelled clean. She closed her eyes and clung closer to the frozen body beneath her as her own felt as though it was going to shake apart. She refuses to let Naruto go, not that anyone tries too hard, so they relocate to the hospital bed with Naruto gently and gingerly holding her with a hand on the back of her head and another on her back. Her face is still in his neck, so she misses the wide-eyed looks he gives her family over her shoulder. Naruto. Itachi says, Sasuke is obviously more comfortable and receptive around you than the rest of us. Nothing in his voice exposes how much that must upset him. It makes sense for you to try and talk to her right now. Okay, I guess, can't she hear you right now? Naruto asks as he shifts Sasuke in his lap a little. Fugaku shakes his head. She's been completely non-responsive for the past 2 weeks. This has been the first time she's spoken. Please Naruto-san, whatever you can get from my daughter as to her state of mind. Naruto's eyes went wide. Of course Fugaku-sama. I'll do my best. He stalled then, what should I say? Ask her if she knows where she is and who she is. Tsunade commands. Makoto shifts a little, again biting her lip. Naruto nods determinedly. Hey Sasuke-chan. He nudges her a little and she pulls her face away from his neck to face him. Their faces are mere inches apart. Naruto grins. Good to see you home. We've all missed you. Do you know where we are? Konoha Hospital. Sasuke answers and Tsunade immediately goes to scribble something down on a piece of paper. She holds it up so Naruto can see it. It says, ask her who she is. Details such as age and so on. Naruto feels a little silly, but he nudges her again. And how old are you, Sasuke-chan? Sasuke doesn't know how to answer. The last she had known she had been 13. But that can't be right if time has passed. She shakes her head in response. She doesn't know, and Naruto's face does an unhappy little stutter at that before reforming into his usual open expression. Sasuke wants to reach up and smooth out his brow with her fingers, but she also doesn't want to move. She's so tired. Tsunade holds up another piece of paper. What's your family name? Naruto asks. Uchiha. And who are the Uchiha? Naruto squints a little to read what Tsunade is scribbling down. Founding clan of Konoha. Okay, good. And who's in your family? Your immediate family, that is. My father Fugaku. My mother Makoto. My brother Itachi. Good, good. And, what were you doing 6 months ago? Sasuke frowns and shakes her head. Okay, that's fine. Do you know who Orochimaru is? Naruto asks, his voice going dark and angry on the name. Sasuke nods. Can you tell us about him? Naruto prompts. Sasuke shakes her head hard. She doesn't want to open that box now. Okay. Before Naruto can ask the next question, Sasuke asks one of her own. Did you ever kiss me? She asks, and Naruto flushes a deep pink all down his face to his neck. No. His voice goes high and squeaky. Itachi raises an eyebrow. Naruto looks like he might die of embarrassment. Oh. Sasuke frowns. I thought it wasn't you, but I don't know who it was. Naruto blinks and makes quick eye contact with Fugaku. You don't know who kissed you? Sasuke shakes her head. There's an uncomfortable pause in the room. Everyone is too well trained to exude killing intent except perhaps Naruto, whose face crumples into something equal parts devastated and angry. Are you okay? He asks, maybe a little uncertainly, and Sasuke just hums and puts her face in his neck again. Sasuke. It's Itachi that asks that. He's come closer, so he's standing within touching distance. Why did you never try to speak to us before Naruto arrived? I thought it might be a genjutsu. Sasuke answers. She left out the fact that she wasn't sure she wanted to talk to them anyway. I see. Are genjutsu involving us something that happen often? Itachi probes further, voice calm and measured. Sasuke nods. Okay. Thank you for answering, Imouto. Itachi reaches forward, puts a hand on her shoulder. We're so happy you're home, Sasuke. You're safe now. Sasuke squeezes Naruto harder and doesn't reply. Time seems to pass faster after that. No Yamanaka does come after it's established that Sasuke can speak and is coherent. It's decided that a mental invasion would be too strenuous and damaging. They ask about the time she spent with Orochimaru. It's easier for Sasuke to lie and say she doesn't remember much. It's only half true. They encourage therapy, and Sasuke sits in silence opposite the woman in her hospital room and doesn't answer. Those moments are the worst when no one else is allowed in and her head is so loud and Kami, everything is real, and Sasuke's thoughts spiral dangerously. After she goes borderline catatonic after one session, it's decided that it may be too early to start therapy. Her family is angry. She can tell. Shisui mutters dark threats against Orochimaru when he thinks she can't hear. Sasuke's own thoughts on Orochimaru, if she ever thought to vocalize or parse through them, are complex. The man had never hurt her in all the ways he could have, and maybe that's a low bar, but being his shadow had exposed her to the very depths of depravity people were willing to sink to. Sasuke would be grateful if she allowed herself to think more about it. Sasuke feels lost, cast adrift. Naruto is a focal point. He's solid and warm, and she refuses to let him go most of the time. She holds him close and he gets used to it, to the point where he stops blushing after a week. Kakashi visits and apologizes. He looks visibly worn and tells her how sorry he is that he didn't protect her. She tells him she forgives him because she's not even sure what she would be upset at him for anyway. He seems a little better after speaking to her, even cracking a bad joke that doesn't make her smile but does make Naruto loudly protest. Sakura visits and brings homemade pastries. She gives her all the latest gossip. Team 7 has a new member called Sai who is nice if a little weird. Naruto never stopped searching for her. He had been on the team that brought her home. Apparently, her abduction had brought Konoha together for a common cause. Every clan head was suddenly in agreement about something, and the efforts to find her had been extensive. Hinata visits, bringing her cousin Neji, and gives her some homemade cinnamon buns. Ino visits and brings flowers. Shikamaru and Choji visit and bring chips and lazy conversation. Kiba visits and shows off a now huge Akamaru. Shino visits and quietly tells her he's glad she's back. Everyone is so much older now. Sasuke has lost years. She's terrified, or at least she would be if she could feel anything at all. To ground herself, she holds onto Naruto, who never complains as she breathes him in or clutches him tight enough to bruise. When Sakura works up enough courage to ask about it, Sasuke knows this answer she gives will be important. He was the last thing I felt, she says, and Sakura's mouth pops open at that. That's another half-truth. The fiery blaze of chakra at the edge of her consciousness had been the last thing she had felt, but she hadn't known it was Naruto at the time. She holds Naruto because he's easy and because she has no memories of him when she was Orochimaru, save for that sweet almost kiss that most likely didn't happen but still makes her warm to think about even if it isn't real. Besides, something happened that day in the forest with Naruto. Sasuke is getting the feeling there are pieces she's missing, but Naruto is still warm and solid and holds her when she tugs at him. They move another cot into her hospital room so he can be there at night too. It's more than slightly inappropriate for Sasuke, the Uchiha princess, to share a bed with a boy without even being engaged, and so publicly as well. However, it's abundantly clear to everyone who spends time with her that Sasuke isn't all there, and that in addition to time she has lost large swaths of her personality. They let her be. It made very clear to her that her mental health is everyone's top priority. It feels so utterly useless now. All those years she spent hating her family for no real reason. The cursed seal twisted pre-existing biases and thoughts, and right now Sasuke has no idea why she would feel that way at all. Her family are all trying so hard to look after her and make sure she's okay in ways she could never have conceived they would. Sasuke can't accurately track the changes to her own psyche, but she supposes she's quieter. That's mainly because she hasn't had much practice using her voice in the past few years. Tsunade is the Hokage now. Jiraiya brought her back to Konoha to help heal Naruto, who had almost killed himself trying to fight off Orochimaru to stop him from taking Sasuke. He had almost been torn to shreds and slapped with a debilitating chakra-draining seal that limited his natural healing ability. Naruto tells all the stories she missed while away with bombastic flair as Sasuke contentedly leans against his chest. She always feels best when she can hear his heartbeat against her cheek. She sleeps better when she can hear someone breathing in the room with her. Itachi also practically moves into the tiny hospital room. He and Naruto alternate nights in the cot. Sasuke likes falling asleep with her Nisan's hand in hers. It's surprisingly easy to get used to loving him again. Finally, it is time for her to leave the hospital and go back to the compound. Everyone thinks she should be okay now. Sasuke doesn't really have an opinion on it all. Either way, she dutifully changes into the clothes that they hand her and follows her brother, father and mother out of the hospital. Naruto is somewhere to her right, and she's trying not to cling too tightly to him because she's noticed that he tends to go a little stiff if she holds him too aggressively, so she's trying to be better about personal space. She could always slip her hand into Itachi's and he would happily take it, but it feels almost like an insurmountable ask for her to initiate contact with her brother. Now that time is passing and she's becoming more aware, she's feeling guiltier and guiltier about the years of hatred. She loves her family. She loves them so much, but it's still uncomfortable and she wishes she wasn't, but she can't help it. They make it back to the compound safely and there are people everywhere welcoming Sasuke, but at a respectful distance. They must have been warned not to be too overwhelming. The familiar clan members are smiling as she passes and they're so happy she's home, and she feels panic. Slowly creeping panic. Crowds were never a good thing. It always meant a harder fight. Sasuke walks forward and does her best to try and smile a little. She hasn't forgotten all those years she spent being trained in managing clan relations as a child, but that version of herself feels a lifetime away and slipping through her fingers. But then she senses someone behind her and every latent instinct Orochimaru had drilled into her over the years comes flooding back. Not safe. Too many people. Strike quickly. She moves with Sharingan speed and takes down the assailant behind her and then the two more that come from her right. Her heartbeat is steady and this at least is familiar. Spin, duck, hit and strike. By the time Naruto's familiar hands are pinning her arms to her side and he's speaking loudly in her face, she has Shisui pinned to the ground by a kunai to his sleeve and another in his thigh, and Itachi disabled next to him with his own kunai sticking out of his shoulder. Her brother has a hand held out to her while his hand clutches the wound, which is steadily leaking blood. Izumi must have tried to intervene because she's applying pressure to a deep gash on her side that's dripping blood and is also stuck in a strong genjutsu. Her mother and father have their hands up placating in front of them. Sasuke doesn't look at the rest of the clan who were all watching. It's clear no one tried to fight back. Sasuke can't do anything but let Naruto hold her and bury her face in his chest where she can't see anyone. No one is angry at her for what happened. Shisui says casually that it's his fault for sneaking up on a fellow ninja, and Tsunade heals all three of them easily and without complaint. Everyone tiptoes around her a little more after that. Well, everyone except Naruto, who is his usual loud, brash self all through dinner. They all ignore the fact that Sasuke's reflexes are indicative of her time with Orochimaru more than anything else. Sasuke doesn't really have an opinion. Her Ka-san makes up a futon for Naruto next to hers and Itachi's, who has also decided to move into her room. Her brother often seems frantic in his overprotectiveness, and while it may be something that could have annoyed her, right now she feels mostly nothing about it at all. Naruto seems to have accepted his role as her comfort creature easily enough, and Sasuke is too wrung out and tired to feel bad about it. So when they go to bed that night, she just tugs him closer and makes him hold her as she sleeps. When she wakes up in the middle of the night at the slightest hint of movement, she sits up fast with her Sharingan spinning and sees both her parents sitting side by side on the tatami close to the door, just watching her sleep, making sure she's safe. Her mother has a sword laid on her lap, and when their Sharingan eyes meet, she just whispers, "Don't worry, Sasuke. Sleep, we're here. Nothing will hurt you." Where Itachi's hand is holding hers, he squeezes gently. Shisui takes her out to train the next Monday. Sasuke is very good. Sasuke has always been good, but now she's on another level entirely after years of Orochimaru of the Sanin's personal training and attention. She beats Shisui twice out of 3 times when then spar, though her cousin isn't using his Mangekyo. She doesn't really think anything of it. Her life had been nothing but training and killing for the years she'd been away anyway, but it must mean something to the village as a whole, because a few weeks later she's sent out on a mission with Itachi and Kakashi. It goes perfectly. Relearning her place in Konoha is the hardest part. With every day, Sasuke feels as though she's clawing some form of control back, but at the same time, she often still feels lost. Everyone is very kind and accommodating, and she is rarely left alone, as if everyone is worried as soon as she is alone she'll have a nervous breakdown or something similar. Sasuke's main problem is that she's having difficulty feeling anything at all, because she knows that when she starts then everything will fall apart. Maybe everyone's not too wrong about the nervous breakdown after all. But despite all that, her life settles into a routine. She trains and goes on missions and spends time with her family and clan and friends. Everyone is kind and accommodating. Nothing fits quite the same as it used to. Then one day they're all at lunch when Naruto complains about the Akatsuki and Shikamaru chimes in and Sasuke frowns, listening to the semi-familiar name. "You mean the group based out of a megacure?" They all go to see the Hokage after that. Sasuke never expected to be a wealth of knowledge on the Akatsuki, but she had absorbed a lot during her time with Orochimaru. Sasuke gives them everything she knows. It's not a great deal, to be honest, despite the fact that Orochimaru knew a lot more about the organization than maybe the group even knew. He had been collecting information, and since Sasuke was somewhere between a pet and a puppet, he had kept her around while he speculated and worked on gathering information, never once thinking she might be absorbing any of it. Sasuke rarely paid attention, and so really she doesn't have much to share despite everything. But still, it's something. She had met a few members at some point, though it wasn't as though she had been completely in control of herself when she did, and those memories are hazier than the others since Orochimaru had exercised his control more judiciously than usual. Still, Sasuke can tell them about Sasori and Kakuzu and Hidan, and that one member has a Sharingan and that the leader has the Rinnegan. On the basis of this information, Jiraiya seems very thoughtful. Sasuke is praised for helping and sitting there in the Hokage's office with her mother on one side and her father on the other, and Itachi lingering in the background. She can't bring herself to feel much of anything. Her world has narrowed down to the way Naruto holds her hand, and that's all her brain can focus on. A few days later, she's in Naruto's apartment with him. They've transitioned out of her needing him to touch her all the time, though she still would if she could. She wonders if he found it all very annoying at the time. Now, Naruto is smiling as he makes her tea. He always smiles at her in a specific way, and when she lines it up to how they were as kids, she thinks it may have been the same smile all along. They sit side by side on his tiny couch and sip while watching the view out of the window. "Nay Sasuke, it's been a good day, huh?" Sasuke hums. It had been an okay day for her, yes. Eros Sennin said he wants to take me to Mount Myoboku when he gets back from AIM to teach me Sage Mode. Naruto tells her, "It'll be cool. I want to do it." Sasuke hums again. Naruto nods rapidly, "Yeah. I feel like Sage Mode would have been really useful when we were looking for you. Sasuke lets the soft cadence of Naruto's voice lull her. All she wants now is to feel present. To stop feeling like she's treading water or that she's trapped beneath a thick layer of glass. Naruto has always liked her, always looked at her adoringly and sweetly, and maybe there was more to that than just friendly admiration. Maybe he could be more than her friend and she would be able to touch him all the time. Naruto. She cuts him off. Nay Sasuke, what is it? He asks, adorably curious, and he's always been so cute. Sasuke knocks his empty cup out of his hand and climbs into his lap. She kisses him and Naruto freezes for a moment before kissing her back with a fervent kind of desperation. He pulls away after a little while, gasping slightly. Sasuke. He says reverently like she's Amaterasu herself. I want you to touch me. Sasuke says. I want you to make me feel alive. I need you to touch me. I think less when I'm with you. She dives back into kissing him and Naruto slowly begins to explore her back. He tangles his fingers in her long hair. He grips her waist with his big hands. He cups her face. Sasuke melts into him. Yes, this is what she wants. After that she can't seem to stop touching him. Now that she's allowed, she refuses to stop. She doesn't know if he gets the same thing out of it that she does, but he never pushes her away. She can spend hours lying side by side with him, just kissing him softly and having him stroke fingertips up and down her arms. Sometimes when he thinks she's asleep he'll gently trace her features with careful fingers. Sasuke always feels more present when they're together. Life moves on, but no matter what age they are, Naruto remains the same. Naruto is pretty sure if he traces it all the way back, he's probably been in love with Sasuke since the first time he'd met her. He was used to everyone hating him for reasons he couldn't understand, and he'd just been told to go away by the kids on the playground as usual, and it sucked because no matter how hard he tried it always happened like this. He had been trying very valiantly not to cry when he'd heard a hello and when he looked up a pretty girl was standing in front of him. And she gave him ice cream. And she was nice to him. And she'd played ninja with him for hours. Naruto thinks maybe that's when he fell in love. Sasuke-chan was amazing and he goes to the playground every day for the next few months, but he never sees her again. It's discouraging, but he just remembers how nice she'd been to him, and when people had been meaning to him as usual, he just remembered how she'd given him her ice cream and played with him. Then he's sitting in the academy on the first day and Sasuke-chan walks in. And she sits next to him. And she's okay with talking to him and being friends with him. Sasuke is the best person he's ever met. When he's around Sasuke he feels calmer and all the clawing need for recognition fades a little because she recognizes him, and he's not even Hokage yet, but she's still sitting next to him in class and sharing her bento with him and helping him with schoolwork and training. Sasuke is amazing at everything too. She's so nice too and really popular in class. Even Naruto has heard of her brother and her cousin. Everyone, even the teachers, is respectful to her. He knows what people in Konoha call her. The Uchiha princess. The Sharinganheim. Which makes sense because Sasuke is a princess. She's so pretty with long black hair that smells nice and is so soft and wide dark eyes. People like Sasuke on sight, and because she hangs around him people are nicer to him too. Sasuke is perfect. She's strong with her ninjutsu and taijutsu and genjutsu, and really everything she does is amazing. And somehow, she likes being friends with Naruto, and Naruto isn't the smartest guy, but he's not an idiot. He knows everyone hates him and he doesn't know why. He thought for a while it must just be something inherent inside of him. Something about him that's just naturally unlikable, but Sasuke ruins that assumptions because she doesn't care and she's friends with him anyway. Naruto knows whatever it is that makes him so hated is something that he never wants to have affect Sasuke. Sasuke is too perfect to have to deal with that kind of thing. So, Naruto preempts her and tells her he won't come to her party anyway because he means it. He never wants to make things hard for Sasuke, and having Sasuke here is enough. She's so beautiful and he wants her so badly. He doesn't even understand in what capacity he wants her, but he just does. He wants her to himself. He wants her around all the time because when she's there he's someone important. Someone worthy of her time and attention and care, and the proud possessor of the title of her best friend. When she's with him he feels like he's already the Hokage. The time they spend together as genin is perfect. For that time, he almost gets Sasuke to himself. He loves her so much and he doesn't even know what it means. Then Orochimaru happens. The aftermath is where Naruto finds out about the Kyuubi. He had lost control in the Forest of Death and decimated almost everything in sight before Orochimaru had almost killed him. Even then, even after the Sannin had nearly ripped him to pieces and taken Sasuke, he had still struggled enough that it had taken both Kakashi-sensei, Itachi and Shisui to restrain him. Naruto feels the shock then the shame. He's an animal. Itachi and Shisui don't seem to think so. In between searching for Sasuke, they visit him and comfort him. Two of Konoha's prodigies, their strongest ninja, in Naruto's hospital room just talking to him. Sasuke's Ka-san, who he'd met a few times before, even brings him food. The same nice bentos that Sasuke had pushed into his hands week after week of them being genin together. Even now with Sasuke gone, her mother is still feeding him. And finally, Sasuke's Tusan, the Uchiha clan head, he visits. Naruto sits up straight when Fugaku Uchiha enters his hospital room. He has so many apologies on his tongue. He's so sorry. He had let him take Sasuke. If only he was stronger. He doesn't get a chance to say any of that because Fugaku Uchiha bows at the waist in front of him. In front of Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto doesn't even breathe. Uzumaki-san, thank you. You fought valiantly to near death to save my daughter. Thank you. I couldn't stop him. Naruto can't help but say, there are tears welling in his eyes because it's Sasuke and she's gone. I couldn't stop him from taking her. Naruto. Fugaku seems very old then. You're a genin and Orochimaru is one of the Sannin. There were many mistakes that happened to allow this, and you did not commit any of them. Naruto just nods, but he can't stop crying a little. We will get my daughter back. Right now, we have a team assembled. I know how close you and Sasuke were. I would like to ask when you are recovered whether or not you would want to help. Naruto springs forward, of course. Please, I'll do whatever it takes to bring Sasuke home. Fugaku nods. Thank you, Naruto-san. He gives Naruto a considering look then. One Naruto is too inexperienced to understand and says, Naruto-san, you care about my daughter? Of course. Sasuke is my most precious person. I'd do anything for her. Naruto declares fervently. Fugaku nods slowly then, you would protect her? Naruto levers himself up out of the sheets so he's kneeling on the bed, fists clenches against his thighs. Even as his entire body aches and protests, I would do anything for her. I would die to protect her. Fugaku doesn't say anything then, he continues to regard Naruto before nodding again. Thank you for your answer, Naruto-san. He leaves then. Things changed for Naruto after that. The entire Uchiha clan suddenly seemed to be on his side. Random Uchiha would stop him in the street and give him snacks. There were always bags of fresh groceries left outside his apartment. Auntie Makoto, as she insisted, he call her, always had food ready for him, and Shisui or Itachi would invite him to the main house for dinner more often than not. Shisui trains him sometimes in between missions and it was nice. It was almost like having a family. No one was openly rude to Naruto anymore. He really didn't think he'd done enough for everyone to be so grateful and kind to him, but he was selfish enough to accept it anyway. Searching for Sasuke was hard. The cursed seal meant Orochimaru was in control of her body and that he was planning on taking it for himself soon. There were rumors everywhere of the pretty Uchiha girl who fought for Orochimaru, but no solid leads to follow. Naruto trained with Jiraiya when he was in the village and went on missions to try and track down Orochimaru. Things were hard during those 4 years. Itachi took things especially bad and looked worse and worse with every passing day. Naruto had once caught him shouting at Shisui, the only time he'd ever heard Itachi shout, about how it was his fault because he knew this would happen and still couldn't protect Sasuke. Shisui had retorted that you can't fight fate, and as much as Itachi had stared wide-eyed at him, he hadn't said anything further. Naruto didn't understand the conversation, but he throws himself into helping with the search as much as he can. Finally, 3 years later they find a solid lead. Orochimaru's compound is in flames when the team arrives. The first look Naruto, and everyone else, gets of Sasuke again is her facing off against Orochimaru. She has a black cloth wrapped around her eyes, but she's dodging the Sannin strikes as she blows a Kaden, fire release. She's alive and older and beautiful, and Itachi and Shisui launch themselves into the fight against Orochimaru before the Sannin can even move his head. Sasuke drops like a stone to the ground then. When Naruto properly sees Sasuke up again for the first time, she's unconscious. He can distantly hear the sound of Itachi and Shisui's combined fury against Orochimaru. Kakashi-sensei. Kakashi checks her body professionally with his Sharingan and then nods. Take her back to Konoha. He commands. Go quick and don't stop. We'll try and end things here. I'll cover you. Naruto nods and hefts Sasuke's body in his arms. She's light. He runs. I've got you, Sasuke. He whispers. You're safe now. Sasuke doesn't answer. He can barely see her face beneath the blindfold and her hair has been cut shorter than she used to wear. Driven by selfish impulse as he buries his nose in her hair. Just for a second, just to familiarize himself with her again. As the silky black of her hair brushes his face, he realizes he's crying. Just a little. Halfway back to Konoha he's joined by Itachi whose Sharingan is still spinning. His eyes fix on Sasuke. He breathes out her name. I think she's okay, Naruto says. Itachi nods. Orochimaru got away, but we destroyed his compound. Shisui and the rest of the team are cleaning up Otogakure and collecting information. Kakashi and Jiraiya have gone after him in Kabuto. Let's get her to Tsunade-sama. After they hand her over, Naruto waits for 2 weeks while Jiraiya removes the cursed seal and Tsunade heals her and Sasuke lies there, awake but unresponsive. He wants to see her so badly it's a physical ache. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. He wants to whisper into her skin. He's learned what love is while she's been away, and he knows now he's loved her all along. Please Sasuke, please be okay so I can tell you. When she crawls into his lap, and he's allowed to hold her, it feels like every one of his most shameful daydreams come to life. Naruto's not stupid. He knows Sasuke's changed a lot. She's quiet now and she doesn't tease him much anymore, but she's still strong and kind and beautiful, so maybe she's not changed all that much. Naruto's not stupid, and that means he knows that as much as people like him a lot more than they used to, he'll never get to have Sasuke for himself. Sasuke is still the Uchiha princess. She's still the pride of the clan. The Sharingan. And as the weeks and months go by it becomes glaringly obvious that Sasuke is also stronger than most now. She's well trained and beautiful in her movements. Her time away has made her stronger. She's perfect. Despite all that, she still seeks him out in every spare moment she seems to have. If she's not with the clan, she's with him, and it's often both. Naruto all but moves into the Uchiha main house during the first month when Sasuke moves back to the compound to help her adjust. He gets used to sleeping next to her, awkward as it is with Itachi and her parents there too. But there's a kind of camaraderie, a mutual understanding between all of them. Whatever Sasuke needed, whatever was in her best interest. Naruto could tell how serious it was when Kiba didn't even tease him about Sasuke being unable to have lunch with everyone without Naruto sitting next to her, pressed flush thigh to shoulder with their elbows brushing as they ate. Sasuke seems cloudy a lot of the time, and the speculation about what kind of torture Orochimaru put her through runs rampant and makes his blood run simultaneously hot and cold whenever he hears it. No one knows for sure what happened. Sasuke has never spoken in detail about those years. She says she can't remember. The only thing she'd ever shared was that someone had kissed her, and that makes every instinct that Naruto has hot and wild under his skin. Either way, everyone is very happy for Sasuke to take missions and come back successful every time. Naruto isn't naive like he once was. He knows that the successful missions are a way to prove that she deserves all this care and special treatment. The village put a lot of effort into getting her back, and it placates everyone to know that there's a benefit to it. Naruto isn't sure that Sasuke likes mission. She's always a little clingier after them, but she never complains, just takes the scrolls and does it. She never runs them alone, and usually it's Kakashi, Shisui or Itachi with her. Sasuke still hasn't been promoted, but it's very clear by the near constant string of A and S class missions she's been put on that she's not a genin anymore. Naruto isn't weak anymore. He knows the Rasengan and he's mastering the Kyuubi's power, and he's been trained by Jiraiya, and he knows he's not weak anymore. He'd been promoted to Chunin in the time Sasuke had been away, on Fugaku's insistence to the Hokage, which he didn't know about, and he was nowhere near the dead last he used to be. He's easily one of the stronger members of the Konoha 12 on raw power alone. But Sasuke's still on another level entirely. Sasuke's always on another level, but Naruto's not bitter. He loves how strong she is. It means it's harder for people to hurt her. Having her plastered all over him, being so affectionate and touchy-feely, had been difficult once the initial shock had worn off because he loves her so much and here, she was sitting on him and holding him, and it gave the illusion that he could maybe have her. He knew that was stupid though. Sasuke is still too far above him to even entertain that idea. Sasuke's on his couch cupping a mug of tea as she often is these days. It seems to be a prevailing trend that whenever Sasuke isn't at the compound she's at his place. She seems comfortable around him in a way she isn't even around her own family, and that's both an elephant in the room and outwardly worrying. It's very clear that Orochimaru tried to target and taint her memories of her family. Naruto supposes he should be lucky he got off scot-free. He's talking aimlessly to Sasuke because she seems to like just hearing him babble. He has a mission tomorrow morning and she said she wanted to see him before he left, so here she is. She might even stay the night, and Naruto is really hoping she does, because there's nothing he likes more than seeing her sleeping in his pajamas lying in his bed and her soft goodbye the next morning when he leaves. No one would mind if she stayed over. There's a sort of blanket agreement from her family that if she's with Naruto she can spend as much time with him as she likes whenever she wants. It's a huge difference considering the fact that Sasuke was barely able to sneak over when she was a genin, because as the Uchiha princess she wasn't supposed to spend so much time alone with a boy if everyone knew about it. If she stays, he can almost pretend that she's actually his. He's an idiot. This has already been established. He's in the middle of talking about sage training when suddenly Sasuke knocks his empty mug out of his hands, and Sasuke can behave erratically at times but not really like this, and Naruto opens his mouth to say something but abruptly shuts it again as she climbs into his lap and kisses him. He can feel her everywhere. Oh god, he's imagined this so many times. Her thighs are so soft and smooth under his palms when he tentatively rests his hands on her and she's kissing him, and he doesn't know why. And he loves her, he loves her so much. It's a dream come true. They kiss for what feels like hours more. Naruto is sure he's terrible at it and clumsy, and at one point their teeth clack, but Sasuke doesn't seem to mind. She just curls closer to him and nuzzles into his neck and face in between kisses. Naruto's heart eventually stops trying to beat out of his chest and instead balloons into something gorgeous and ephemeral. This is Sasuke, kissing him. That night she falls asleep in his arms, curled up against his chest with her soft puffs of breath against the exposed skin of his neck. He stares down at her, incredulous that this is even reality. How is he so lucky? He wants to run into the streets and scream from the rooftops about how much he loves her. He wants to go to the compound and knock on the familiar door to the Uchiha main house and get on his knees and beg Fugaku Uchiha to let him marry her. He wants to marry Sasuke. He wants her in his house to come home to, calling out an okari to his tadaima. He wants her to sleep next to him every night where he can keep an eye on her and make sure she's safe. He wants her to listen to his babble over tea just like when they were pre-genin all the way to now. He wants Sasuke in his clothes in his flat eating his food all the time. He can almost imagine it, going to Fugaku and asking. He can imagine saying the words, "Uchiha-sama. I've been in love with your daughter since I was 7. I would treat her really well, I promise, and I would rather die than see her get hurt. I'll look after her and I promise I'll get even stronger, and if Sasuke doesn't want to she'll never have to run missions again. She can have whatever she wants. I'll make sure she can have whatever she wants. Please let me marry her. Please say I'm allowed to marry her." The fantasy always ends there because he doesn't want to imagine the way Sasuke's father would tell him to leave and never go near her again. He's being an idiot. He wants Sasuke more than anything else, but he knows he can't have her. Sasuke's in his bed. Naruto thinks he might be dreaming. He had imagined this entire thing more than a few times over the years with no small amount of shame attached because Sasuke was his precious friend who had been kidnapped and was going through Kami knows what, but she was still the only girl he could ever think about when his mind wandered. He had imagined it before exactly like this, only this is better because it's real. Imagine Sasuke in his bed letting him touch her. He had spent more than a few nights stroking himself trying desperately to imagine the way she would sound and look. And every time he would come, he would always try and promise himself that was the last time because in his fantasies Sasuke would let him do whatever he wanted to her. And as much as he loved the image of Sasuke on her knees letting him come all over her face and letting him move her body any way he wanted to, he doesn't actually want to treat her so carelessly. She's Sasuke and the only girl he's ever been able to think about this way. When it comes to Sasuke, he wants to be gentle in real life. He wants to make her happy and feel good. He wants to make it so good she'll never ever leave, and if she would ever want to do any of the hundreds of insane things he's imagined over the years, then he would be far too lucky. Now Sasuke's in his bed and she's naked and she's pulling him closer, guiding his hands to her breasts and between her legs. He undressed her and he did it so carefully, removing her clothes piece by piece and kissing every inch of exposed skin. She had liked it, sighing happily against him as he ghosted his lips over her. She was so soft and she smelled so good and he wanted this so badly. Oh God, he had imagined this for years. Sasuke looks up at him, their eyes meet, and he tries to convey every inch of love he has to her through his gaze. He knows he can't say the words yet, he's terrified she won't say them back, but he wants her to know. He doesn't know what they're doing. Since the day Sasuke had first kissed him, she does it all the time now, and now she's here in his bed, but they'd never talked about it before. Naruto is terrified to break the spell and wake her up from whatever insanity is making her do this with him. He wants to hoard every moment he has left of this madness. Her own face is flushed and beautiful and her Sharingan spins softly for a moment as they gaze at each other. It's so tender it makes him ache. She smiles then and the hand of his she's holding gets pressed to her breast. Naruto. She moans, Naruto please. He almost comes on the spot. Oh God, I love you. I love you so much. Naruto presses his lips to her hair and mouths exactly that into her scalp. How can he be allowed to have all of this and not be allowed to keep her? He loves her so much. He needs to savor every moment of this. He needs to remember how this feels so when he loses it, he still has the memories. His eyes prick with tears at the thought of Sasuke eventually marrying someone else. Someone nice and clan approved and proper and not an ostracized Jinchuriki. His mind inevitably drifts to her in bed with someone else and his hand clenches on her breast which draws a whine from her. He leans down and kisses her in apology. He touches her then, as gently as he can, unpracticed and clumsy, but he must be doing something right because she moans his name and gasps into his mouth. Naruto. She whispers and he pretends for a moment that she says, I love you. Please, please let her love me. Please. He strokes along the parts of her where she's hot and wet and desperately tries to remember anything and everything he'd read from Ero Sennin's stupid books when the man had made him edit them. He finds her clit and begins rubbing in small circles. It apparently does something for Sasuke because she gasps and squirms under him. It's the first time he's touched her like this and he doesn't want to mess it up. She deserves the world. She deserves everything. He manages to get 2 fingers into her and she's clenching around him so hot so tight. Fuck it Sasuke Sasuke. Fuck it Sasuke. He can't mess this up, it's Sasuke, but she feels so good. What would she feel like around him? Would she be this wet if he was inside her? Fuck. Naruto. She whines and moans and he tried to touch her firmly but not too roughly because she's sensitive and he doesn't want to hurt her. His heart is somewhere between his throat and his mouth as he watches her. I love you, he whispers into her neck, sure she won't hear. I love you. He wants to get on his knees and kiss her down there too. Make her come like that, but he, selfishly, wants to see the look on her face when he makes her come for the first time and he wants to best possible view. Next time he'll make her come like that, but for now he fingers her and strokes her and keeps himself braced above her on one arm with eyes greedily fixed on her face. Sasuke blinks blearily up at him and when she arches in pleasure she draws their lips together in a kiss he returns with only a fraction of the pure desperation he's feeling. He pulls back and speeds up his pace, watching her as closely as he can for any minute changes to her expression to indicate if she likes something or not. Sasuke shudders and gasps and moans and finally her hands clench down hard on his shoulders and her eyes squeeze shut and she flutters around his fingers and with a strangled gasp she goes limp. He supposes she must have come. He's achingly hard watching her, but there's something so beautiful about seeing her so unguarded and relaxed. Not that Sasuke is hard or angry now, but she's changed in the past few years, obviously, and even when she was younger, she had the weight of the clan on her. Like this she's soft and smiles muzzily up at him. And it makes something soft and sweet flare to life inside of him at the thought that he gets to see this side of her. He's allowed to have this part of her. He got to have the childish parts of her when they were younger and climbing trees in the forests, and now he gets to have these parts of her too. She's always made him feel so special. Naruto. She reaches for him and he goes to her easily, nuzzling against her cheek and hair and neck while she hums happily. In the end they settle with his head resting on her bare chest. He can hear her heartbeat, steady and strong. He closes his eyes. Do you love me? Do you love this? What do you get from me? How can I give you more? These are all questions he wants to ask but can't. Instead, he accepts her next kiss selfishly and with every ounce of greed inside of him. She's giving him this much and he will take every scrap she offers. Is this okay with you? Sasuke asks. Well, it's more of a quiet mumble. What do you mean? Staying over? It's fine, I don't mind. Your house is way nicer than my place anyway. Naruto laughs as he rubs the back of his head with his hand. Sasuke is lying in her futon with the futon Naruto usually uses laid out neatly next to it. It's mostly for show anyway, since Sasuke will usually wrap herself around him, and regardless of them having separate futons they usually only end up using one. No, I meant, Sasuke cuts herself off then, ducking her head so her hair hangs in her face. Don't worry about it. Sasuke. Naruto crawls closer so he can tip her face up. What is it? Sasuke actually sighs in pleasure as he enters her and his other hand, the one that isn't holding up her leg, moves to caress her breast. He is slow and gentle, and Sasuke makes this gorgeous little whimper every time he moves at a certain angle. The hand goes from her breast to her clit and he rubs it in time with his thrusts, determined for her to come first. When she does, it's with the whyest little whine he's ever heard, and Naruto can't help the way he comes immediately afterwards as she spasms around him. When his head clears he pulls out slowly and puts her thigh back down before rolling her on top of him so they're almost nose to nose. Sasuke likes to be held. Likes the closeness in moments like this especially, and here she nuzzles happily into his chest. She's so physically affectionate now, seeking out his touch like sunlight in winter. Not that Sasuke wasn't affectionate before, but before Orochimaru the extent of their touches were quick hugs and hands grasping when training in occasional spontaneous wrestling matches. Sasuke never acted anything like the way she does now, where she seeks out his touch without shame or hesitation. It's slight insanity. Sasuke is still, despite everything, the Uchiha princess, and maybe the is somehow more understandable. Is one thing, shinobi do it all the time, too much adrenaline and the fear of death. But this kinship is something completely different. Naruto had never been touched as a child. Then he became friends with Sasuke and she touched him, brushes to his shoulder or grabbing his hand in a game or correcting his stance or a quick hug goodbye. Then he made other friends, and they would touch him. Shikamaru with his infrequent but warming hugs, Choji's forceful pats, Kiba's roughhousing, Neji's comforting shoulder squeezes, Sakura's affectionate punches, and so on. His world no longer narrows to the spaces between Sasuke's fingers, and yet her touch is the one that makes him feel the most important. Not only because she's a princess but because she was the first. When everyone hated him, Sasuke was there, and now people like him, and Sasuke is still here. Besides, Naruto has learnt that being touched by someone you're in love with is an entirely different heart-pounding experience. Sasuke doesn't touch many other people the way she touches him. Itachi maybe, she hugs her brother and lets him hold her hand, but maybe that's the difference. She rarely reaches for Itachi first, she takes whatever touches he wants to give her. It's clear how much the siblings love each other, but with Naruto she'll strip naked in the middle of the night and demand that he touch her with no hesitations attached. And here she is now in the empty Uchiha main house touching him when everyone's away. Itachi is on an Akatsuki-related mission, and Auntie Makoto, now that she's taken active duty back up, is accompanying him. Fugaku is currently on a diplomatic trip to the capital to meet with the daimyo about the Akatsuki threat. Auntie Makoto had kissed his forehead before she left and told him that they would make sure Akatsuki wouldn't be a bother. Fugaku had given Naruto another one of his considering looks and told him to take care of Sasuke while they were gone. Itachi had been the one to suggest he sleep over. Naruto sometimes wonders with a clawing kind of desperation if they'll hate him when they find out what he and Sasuke do. He makes sure to only ever do what Sasuke wants, and she had initiated it, but still. What if they hate him? When those thoughts come, they always stop as soon as Sasuke turns her dark eyes on him and smiles. Naruto then reminds himself to take as much as he can for the small time he's being allowed to. Sasuke is mostly silent on top of him, but her fingers are alive and dancing over his skin. It used to concern him just how quiet she would get at moments like this, just how silent she was when they would touch each other, How she would never really vocalize anything beyond his name and a few moans and noises. Now he knows it's just another way she's changed. In his nighttime fantasies before she had come back, he had always imagined her loud, clawing at him and crying, and so overcome by pleasure she would scream his name. The reality isn't disappointing in any way, it's just different, and it's Sasuke, so it's still perfect. What are thinking, Sasuke? He asks, reaches a hand up to stroke through her hair, fingers drawn as if by a magnet. Sasuke hums against his chest. I had a bad dream, she says very quietly. Naruto does everything he can not to perk up noticeably. This is the first time she's talked about night terrors and he doesn't want to scare her off. What was it about? He asks as casually as he can. It was cold and dark and I couldn't see anything. And I knew I couldn't do anything. I was powerless. Sasuke half whispers into his skin. Naruto aches. Listening to her, his entire body aches. And you don't feel that way right now? Right? No. When I'm with you things are easier. You make me feel awake. I'm really happy I can make you feel good. Naruto shifts her so she's cradled in his arms. We're gonna have to wash this futon though. I really don't want Itachi to know what we were doing. Sasuke hums as she drifts back to sleep. Naruto buries his nose in her hair and tries not to let his heart beat too fast. Naruto. Sasuke's voice is terrifying, and Naruto tries to turn towards it as much as he can with Pain's chakra rods impaling him to the ground. They'd been ambushed on their way back to Konoha by the remaining members of Akatsuki, and he doesn't know where Kakashi-sensei and Sakura are. Let alone Sai and Yamato-sensei. The paths of Pain had done their work to separate him from the group as much as possible, while Kisame and Sasori had engaged Kakashi and Sakura. He hadn't been able to see everything, but he knows there was a woman with paper jutsu somewhere. Before he can say anything to Sasuke's scream, he senses her burning but still cold chakra in the field of his senses, and suddenly Pain's been knocked back. Naruto had managed to take down 3 of the paths on his own before they had managed to tie him down. He knows Sakura and Sai working in tandem had taken down another path before they had all gotten separated. He's not sure where Sasuke has been or who she has been facing up to this battle, but right here Sasuke faces down the last 2 paths with a look of abject fury on her face. She doesn't speak, just moves, and she's so fast her body almost blurs, and Pain is struggling to keep up, and behind him where he can't see Naruto strains to hear the sounds of the fight against the other members. Are the rest of Team 7 okay? Naruto watches in absolute terror as Sasuke manages to duck under Pain's defense and drives him back with Chidori. The second path comes around her back and Sasuke spears him through with her sword in a move so graceful it looks like she's dancing. Auntie Makoto is a swordmaster and she had passed on what she knew to Sasuke. It shows. Sasuke's sword arm blurs and suddenly the path has been rending in 2. The pieces of the body fall, and before they hit the ground Sasuke is moving again. While the last path dodges, suddenly there's movement to the side of him, and, when had Sasuke made a clone, there are warm hands ripping the chakra rods out of his flesh. His healing kicks in immediately and he struggles to help now that his hands are free as Sasuke is tossed into the air by Pain. Naruto howls her name, but Sasuke lands on her feet and launches herself at Pain again as her clone disperses and Naruto gets to his feet. He's by her side in a flash, sage mode coloring his eyes, and Sasuke doesn't look at him, but he can read her body language and he knows she's pleased. Sasuke takes the left and Naruto takes the right, and fighting side by side with her as her equal is so perfect it makes his heart sing. Together they destroy the last path. Staring down at the remains of the body, Naruto feels a little shell-shocked in all honesty. This had been Akatsuki's big push to get the Kyuubi, and it's over? Sasuke? Where's everyone else? Are they okay? He asks, feeling a little frantic all of a sudden. Sasuke looks up at him, her almond-shaped eyes dark and deep, and the only place he wants to bury himself in. They should be fine. Sakura and Sai defeated Sasori. Yamato and Kakashi trapped Kisame, but he then committed suicide before they could seal him and take him back to Konoha for interrogation. I subdued 2 of the paths. The woman, Konan, managed to escape, but we don't have any casualties on our side. Naruto blinks at the rapid-fire information before the knowledge that everyone is okay and they're safe floods his mind, and he wants to pick Sasuke up and spin her around, but before he can she all but drags him into her arms and rests her head against his chest. You can't leave me, she declares, and Naruto's heart catches between his chest and throat and mouth. hopping between his brain and stomach all at once. He just nods against the top of her head and he's taller than her now. When they were genin he was always the smaller one, and even the past few months they've spent in bed with each other hadn't been enough for him to recognize that she was now smaller than him. He has never before seen her as delicate, and he doubts he ever will again, but right now he looks at her and just wants. Marry me, he wants to say right then. It's the only way he knows to say, stay with me forever. Sasuke, Naruto, Kakashi-sensei calls out then, are you alright? The rest of the team follows, looking a little banged up but overall triumphant. Sakura in particular is flushed with victory. We're fine. Naruto calls out, the paths are all gone. He cheers a little and Kakashi's body slumps into something more like his usual casual stance. Ma, that's good to hear. Sasuke hums an affirmation, but she's still pressed against Naruto and doesn't look like she wants to move anytime soon. She sweeps the hair off of Naruto's forehead with an absent hand in front of everyone and he flushes. He's half anticipating Sai to make some sort of gross comment, but thankfully Sakura looks to have elbowed him into submission. Sasuke's eyes don't move from Naruto. She regards him very carefully, very intensely, and Naruto can't help the way his blush darkens. What? He asks a little self-consciously, do I have something on my face? Sasuke shakes her head. No, you're perfect. And there's something in those simple words that make it hard for even Kakashi to tease them. When they get back to Konoha, it's decided that there will need to be a 5-cage summit to discuss what to do with the remains of Akatsuki. Almost every shinobi village has lost a Jinchuriki to the organization, and while they're weak right now is the best time to strike. Especially against the member who fashions himself as Madara Uchiha. After the summit it's decided that Naruto should leave Konoha to train with Killer Bee on forming a partnership with the Kyuubi for a while, and the time he's away from Sasuke is weird. For all that she does missions, and he does missions, and they spent years apart when she was with Orochimaru. They've been almost always on top of each other since she came back. Sasuke sees him off at the gates and it's not quite emotional but something close. She doesn't beg him to stay or get angry at him for leaving or confess her love in front of everyone. She just rests her head very gently against his chest while he, as always, tries not to have his heart explode. She gives him one last smile before he leaves, side by side with Jiraiya, and when he turns around one last time before they get too far away, he sees she's still standing there. Jiraiya teases him relentlessly, but it doesn't matter because Sasuke cares about him. Naruto faces his deepest insecurities. His misplaced anger and rage, and when he goes into himself to meet the Kyuubi it laughs at him. It knows all his deepest thoughts and desires, and the one thing it tells him is that the Uchiha girl will never want you the way you want her. She doesn't love you, you're just convenient to her. And the Uchiha will never accept you. You can never have her. Naruto emerges from that session crying before he steels himself and goes back. It's hard and terrifying and terrible, but he does it because he's strong enough. And he meets his mother in the seal. She's beautiful and funny and strong and tells him all about her friend Makoto Uchiha and how they always joked about their kids getting married. He tells his mother all about Sasuke, everything little bit of her that makes his heart beat and swell. It's the first time he's ever said he loves Sasuke out loud to someone before. His mother listens patiently and indulgently and makes little exclamations here and there. He wants to stay with her forever. He wants her to meet Sasuke and his friends in real life. He wants his mother to be there outside the seal. He cries quite a lot and his mother cries too, but she holds him tight and tells him how proud she is and how much she loves him, and somehow that makes everything better. And when he finally makes it back to Konoha with Ero Sennin beside him, Sasuke is waiting for him, leaning against the wall just inside the front gates. Her eyes are fixed on the road, not even trying to pretend not to be waiting for him, and when she spots him her entire face lights up beatifically. Oh ho! Ero Sennin hums where he's walking next to him. Look Gaki, it's your wife. Naruto glares at him but can't say anything else because Sasuke is running up to him and he doesn't want to do anything but grab her and hold her in his arms. Can he have her like this? He spins her anyway because she lets him. She's smiling and Naruto's heart does that thing. I missed you. He says to her, like so much. I was dying and it was really hard, but I think Kyuubi and I have an understanding now. Like we get each other, but yeah, I missed you loads. Wish there was a Falls of Truth here in Konoha. Oh, I got you a bunch of souvenirs, and off he goes. Sasuke walks back into Konoha next to him and smiles as he speaks. Jiraiya trails behind them and doesn't say anything, though he has a knowing look on his face. Madara Uchiha is actually Obito Uchiha. Kakashi-sensei looks as though he's had a Chidori punched through his chest, and before anyone can say anything, Sasuke pushes the man back towards Shisui and launches herself at Obito. Naruto, fully cloaked, does the same, and the two of them tag-team the man. Naruto can feel a bubbling anger in him, but at the same time a kind of terrible desperate understanding. He doesn't really know who he would become if he had lost Sasuke, saw her killed right in front of him. He likes to think he would be fine, he would have kept going, but he can't be sure. Sasuke is resplendent at his side, her Sharingan spinning, and he's stronger than her now. With Kurama on his side, he's the strongest shinobi the elemental nations have ever seen, but Sasuke is still his equal in every way that matters, and she's fast and smart, and together they take Obito down while the rest of the group is occupied with the clones Zetsu keeps producing. When it's over, she stands her panting slightly, and there's blood dripping down her side where Obito had almost managed to spear her through with his Mokuton, but she turns to him and she's as beautiful as always, and he wants nothing more than to grab her in his arms and kiss her and hold her, but he can't because they're surrounded by the special team sent to intercept Obito, and Itachi and Kakashi-sensei and Shisui and Yamato-sensei are right there, and they don't know that he and Sasuke have been doing what they've been doing. Although Naruto can only kid himself so much, and he knows they probably all know how much he's in love with her, it's so obvious. In the end it doesn't matter because Sasuke strides forward and before he can say anything kisses him in front of everyone. She tastes a little like blood but mostly like freedom. She then turns back to the team. "I'm going to marry him," she declares. It's maybe more words than she's spoken at once in public in a while. And then she turns back to Naruto, "That is, if you'll have me." And how can she even ask with hope in her eyes? Doesn't she know she can have anything of his without asking? Naruto nods so rapidly his neck almost cramps. "Yes, yes, you can marry me. Please marry me." His heart has exploded and his stomach is full of butterflies and he's going to die. He thinks he hears Shisui chuckle a little. Sasuke smiles at him. "I've never wanted to marry anyone else," she says, and Naruto's entire body tingles at that. How is it possible to love so intensely? It's overwhelming. "Okay," he says a little breathlessly, and Sasuke smiles and kisses him again. Naruto is nervous, red, terrified, about whether or not everyone will be okay with him marrying Sasuke. At the end of the day, it's her choice and he doesn't think anyone will try to stop her from making her own choices, but he's still nervous. All those years of ostracization and hatred don't fall away overnight, no matter how much it warms him that Sasuke holds his hand all the way back to Konoha. Instead of whatever nightmare scenario he's imagining, no one seems shocked at all. Auntie Makoto gives him a hug and tells him she'll make a special dinner in celebration. She also tells him that Kushina would be so happy. Naruto swallows and nods. Dinner is good and Itachi doesn't do anything scary. Instead, he tells Naruto he knows he can trust him to look after Sasuke. The rest of the Uchiha clan gather outside the main house when Fugaku announces the union, Naruto and Sasuke standing hand in hand behind him. And when he says the words, everyone cheers. Naruto cries. The wedding preparations are overwhelming. This is apparently a big deal, especially considering how many friends Naruto has that he's inviting from throughout the shinobi nations. He wants Gaara and Bee to be there definitely, and he knows they'll come, although it makes for a bit of a security nightmare. Despite that, the shinobi nations are in a time of peace, which makes everything easier. He and Sasuke don't have to do much in preparation apart from go to dress fittings and the like. Itachi and Auntie Makoto handle most of it. Sakura and Ino and Tenten and Hinata and Neji also seem intensely invested. The rest of their friends all help, but with less squealing involved. Naruto couldn't believe the ease at which everything was happening. He still felt a little as though this was the best kind of dream. The type that he would wake up from and then try desperately to get back to sleep. Meeting Fugaku in his study prior to the wedding was a little nerve-wracking, no matter how much time he had spent with the man before over the years. He had sat opposite the man and been completely unprepared for the way he had smiled at him and said, "The whole clan is extremely happy for your upcoming marriage to my daughter." Naruto had just blinked in shock, unable to even find any words. What? Naruto, the Uchiha are a superstitious clan, deeply seeped in tradition. When Sasuke was born, she was the first girl born to the main line in many generations. There are special traditions accorded to main-line women due to them being the mothers of the clan and the physical form of our patron goddess Amaterasu. Naruto's mouth had fallen open then. Sasuke is a goddess? Fugaku had laughed, not quite so literally. Like I said, these are legends and traditions. When a main-line girl is born, the priestess at our patron shrine to Amaterasu meets her and proclaims her fortune to the clan. Sasuke's fortune actually saved the Uchiha clan from destruction time and time again. Naruto stares at the man. I don't understand. When the priestess met my daughter, she said, "Your daughter will ensure the Uchiha do not fall into ruin. She will showcase admirable strength, though she will go through trials no Uchiha before her will ever have experienced. She will marry the strongest warrior the shinobi world has yet to see, and she will uphold the Uchiha name to the end." That was her proclamation, and it saved the Uchiha clan from its own destruction at least once. Fugaku hums. There has always been speculation as to who Sasuke would marry. She is to be the mother of the clan after all, as much as it is just an old show title now. When I came to meet you at the hospital and we spoke after Sasuke had been abducted, do you remember that? Yeah, kinda. Do you remember what you told me? Naruto tries valiantly to remember. No. You told me you would die to protect my daughter. Naruto, after everything that has happened, after all Sasuke has gone through, I am glad she has chosen you. You will treat her well. Naruto remembers the proclamation he had daydreamed making to the man in front of him to convince him to let him marry his daughter. You make her happy. Fugaku bows. Then, my daughter is in your care, Naruto-san. Look after her. Naruto scrambles to bow back. Yes. Yes, I will, I promise. Whatever she wants. I'll give her whatever she wants. Anything she wants. Fugaku smiles then, his stern face breaking open, and Naruto beams back. I still can't believe it. Kiba says as he throws down his cards. Can't believe you're losing? Neji snarks. Kiba snarks back and Shikamaru rolls his eyes. Shut up, you guys. This is Naruto's bachelor party, so can you quit it for 5 minutes? You two are such a drag. Naruto doesn't mind. Having friends is so amazing, he doesn't really care what they do when they're together. I meant, Kiba glares at Neji, that I can't believe Naruto is actually marrying Sasuke. Like this is Sasuke Uchiha. The Itachi Uchiha's little sister. Sharingan princess and all that. Shino hums. I do not think it is much of a surprise. Why? Because Naruto has been in love with Sasuke since the academy. Naruto flushes. Hey, how do you know that? Wait, so that's true? You've been in love with Sasuke since we were kids? Kiba leans forward and Naruto feels a little like he's blushing hard enough that you could probably fry an egg on his skin. Naruto shrugs a little awkwardly. I mean, yeah. Since I first met her before the academy. She was my first friend. You two did spend a lot of time together at the academy. Choji says, she sat next to you every day. But Sasuke was nice to everyone. I didn't realize you two were that close. Naruto nods. We used to play together after the academy. Sasuke's great. She's the best. And we've lost him. Shikamaru mutters as Naruto spirals into, as usual, pontificating about how incredible Sasuke is. I mean, I'm just saying, guys. This is Naruto, academy dead last and overall idiot. Kiba reaches across the table and bonks him on the head, to which Naruto loudly protests, though mostly for show, and he's marrying Sasuke Uchiha. Legit one of the hottest and strongest kunoichi in the shinobi world. Oi, who are you calling an idiot, dog breath? Naruto is quite strong. Shino points out, and there's a moment while everyone accepts that little understatement. Naruto is fully imbued with the power of youth. Lee exclaims, him and Sasuke are a powerful and youthful couple. Thanks, bushy brows. Naruto grins at the support. Though he has to admit he does understand Kiba's incredulity. He can barely believe he's marrying Sasuke. That's the moment there's a knock on the door. Shikamaru sighs, what a drag. It's open. He calls. They're at his house for this last-minute bachelor party that Naruto had been deeply touched to be surprised with. The door opens and there's a cacophony of female voices before Naruto bounces up excitedly, Sasuke. His hands are already reaching for her as she steps through the doorway and crosses the room in 2 simple steps to sink into his open arms. I missed you too. Naruto says to her. Silence. Come on, sit down. Naruto drags them both into sitting with Sasuke in his lap curled up against him. We were doing a bachelorette party at Ino's but Sasuke missed Naruto, so here we are. Sakura explained as the girls all plopped down to sit around the table with the boys. Naruto's heart swells at that. Having Sasuke needy for him is something he never knew he would like as much as he does. He feels like a fool around her most of the time, so knowing that she wants him all the time with no reservation is comforting. Ino swiped Sai's beer and began drinking it. We left our drinks back at my place, so you better have enough, Shika. Shikamaru sighs, what a drag. He mumbles but gestures a hand to the cooler in the corner. Naruto doesn't pay attention, instead wrapping a finger around Sasuke's hair. Her eyes are closed and he leans down to kiss the top of her head. She puts her face in his chest and breathes in deep. When he looks up, all their friends are staring. What? Naruto asks. I don't get how you two went from friends to engaged and have now skipped dating to settle into grossly domestic. Sakura throws her hands up. I feel like you missed a few steps in there. Naruto doesn't mention that they've been having for a while. Instead, he just shrugs and focuses on Sasuke's warm, perfect weight in his lap. How'd the proposal happen? Ino asked as she cracks open another beer. She's now perched herself next to Sai, who's been mostly silent the entire evening but is smiling. Oh yeah, I was wondering that. Tenten muses from where she's stolen Neji's drink while the boy sighs and takes the new one. Lee passes him. When did you pop the question? Well, it was right after we took down Madara. Naruto explains. Sasuke shifts in his arms so she's sitting with her back to his chest in his lap. Her eyes are open now. And Sasuke actually asked me. There are a few eyebrows raised at that, really. Ino leans forward. How'd she ask? I turned to the team we were with and told them I was going to marry him. Sasuke speaks up, voice steady as always, and Naruto knows her well enough to sense a little undercurrent of dry amusement there. Kiba blinks. Wait, so you didn't ask? You just said you were gonna? Not that Naruto would ever say no, but you didn't give him the option? Sasuke hums. I asked after I said that, and he said yes. Naruto nods. Yeah, that's basically what happened, but how'd you go from friends to wanting to marry him? Sakura asks, curious. This seems to be the big question and everyone looks curious and interested as they lean in slightly. Sasuke reaches across the small table to pet Akamaru, who's lying next to Kiba. Naruto makes me feel comfortable. He's always made me feel that way, she explained. Naruto's heart does that thing it always does around her. Damn you too? Kiba exclaimed even as he nudged Akamaru a little closer to Sasuke. The dog lolled over, tongue hanging out of his mouth excitedly as he looked for pets. Naruto said earlier that he'd been in love with you since you were children. Shino explains. It is interesting to hear that it is the same for both of you. Naruto groans. Did you guys really have to say that? He mutters. He knows Sasuke probably knows, but it's one of those things. He doesn't want her to think he was just mooning over her the entire time they were kids. I suppose me too. Sasuke hums in response with absolutely no shame. I thought you were very cute when we were kids, like a kitten. Really? Naruto bends his neck at a weird angle to look Sasuke in the face while she nods. Well, I thought you were the best person I'd ever met. Naruto declares, so yeah. You guys are really casual about this whole marriage thing. Tenten remarks, like childhood crushes aside, after everything you guys are still really young. Like, isn't your clan kinda strict about things? Hinata pipes up then, quiet as she is but everyone listens carefully. Anyo. I know the Hyuga are very serious when it comes to betrothals in the main family. Especially when you consider the Byakugan. That is a good point. Neji says then, you are both very young and Naruto is not of the Uchiha clan. Weren't your clan elders concerned? Well, Sasuke sits up a little more fully then. Naruto is the son of the Yondaime and the Red Hot Habanera. Kushina Uzumaki was a close friend of my mother's. Naruto is also one of the strongest shinobi to ever live and he's been my friend since we were young. It is a good match in all respects. Huh, yeah, I keep forgetting Naruto has pedigree. Kiba remarks. Naruto rolls his eyes and sticks his tongue out at the other boy. But you are still really young. Ino points out, like lots of clan marriages happened young in the past, but I know my dad wouldn't want me to marry until I was at least in my 20s. We're going to get married eventually. Sasuke says with complete certainty in her voice, and since that's the case it doesn't matter if it's earlier rather than later. And all the Uchiha are okay with that? Neji pushes. Naruto kind of gets it. Neji has been caged by his clan since he was a child in all the worst ways, and the Uchiha and Hyuga often get compared even though Naruto privately thinks the clans are rather different at their core. It makes sense for him to have questions. Naruto strokes a few fingers up Sasuke's spine and she relaxes and answers Neji's questions without hesitation. There was a proclamation when I was born. Sasuke says then, and Naruto has heard about the proclamation from Fugaku, but it's obviously news to their friends who all look interested. Because I am the first mainline female in a long time, there are special traditions. The priestess read my future when I was a few days old. Amaterasu proclaimed that I would face trials no Uchiha has before, and that I would marry the strongest warrior in the shinobi nations and allow the Uchiha to live in peace. No Uchiha would disregard this. They know Naruto is strong. They know this will happen regardless. Shikamaru looks thoughtful as it sinks in. Interesting. I didn't realize the Uchiha were so superstitious. Sasuke shrugs at that, and Naruto is the one that pipes up. It's because Sasuke is a mainline girl. It's different because she's like Amaterasu? But human? Sasuke shrugs. The patron goddess of the Uchiha is Amaterasu, the sun goddess who granted the Uchiha the power to breathe fire 1,000 years ago. I did not realize the Uchiha still kept their legends alive. Neji remarks, the Hyuga are not as spiritual. Naruto takes over here. The Uchiha have loads of rituals and traditions. When Sasuke and I get married, we have to burn something of value to us in the temple flame as an offering to Amaterasu to grant us a long prosperous life together. And there's this stone tablet, I think, in the shrine that we have to carve our names into? I've awakened my Sharingan. Sasuke explains, and that means that my name was added to the tablet, as my spouse Naruto will be included in my family tree. The Hyuga don't have any rituals like this. Hinata looks thoughtful. Anyo, I once heard an Uchiha on a team I was on called the Sharingan the Eyes of Love. Do you mind explaining that? You don't have to if it's personal. She hurries to add. Sasuke shrugs, it's not personal. This isn't a clan secret. Everyone leans in then because the Sharingan is mysterious and strange and almost otherworldly at times. The Sharingan allows the user photographic memory when it's activated amongst its other abilities. Sasuke explains, and it's activated by loss. To unlock the Sharingan you need to experience strong emotion, and since we are shinobi it usually means that the Sharingan is unlocked by the death or the fear of death of a loved one. There's a little pause then. Wait. So you're saying you get the Sharingan by watching someone you love in danger? Kiba asks, voice high and incredulous. Sasuke hums in affirmation. It is unlocked by strong emotion, so usually it happens like that on missions and so on. But every person is different. There have been stories of Uchiha who have unlocked the second or third tomo of their eyes and achieved a mature Sharingan through other emotions. She smiles then. One of my granduncles is said to have gained his second tomo watching his future wife walk down the aisle. There's a pause then. I never realized your Kekkei Genkai was so related to your emotions. Shikamaru remarks. His body is casual, but his eyes are alight with interest. Sasuke hums. It means that the Uchiha feel strongly. For an Uchiha, love is the most important thing. The whole clan respects that. I love Naruto. They would never dream of separating me from him. Doesn't that mean you have to be careful? Neji asks, if that's the case then doesn't that mean that your clan would monitor who you fell in love with more closely? Sasuke nods, yes. She doesn't elaborate further. Wow. Sakura sounds dreamy. I can't believe you unlock your Sharingan through love. That's beautiful. Sasuke hums, it can be. But it is also a nightmare. Why? Because with the photographic quality of the Sharingan you will remember loss or pain forever when you witness it. Shino points out. It's a double-edged sword. Shikamaru says thoughtfully, that's very interesting. I suppose then not every Uchiha will unlock their Sharingan. Neji points out, unlike the Byakugan which every Hyuga is born with. Yeah, Naruto answers. Uchiha are pretty chill about it if you aren't a shinobi. Loads of the civilian Uchiha don't have their Sharingan. He points out, I guess when it comes to your marriage no one's gonna say no if you already love Naruto then. Ino says, like they've all already accepted it and Naruto is already kind of a catch, weird as it is to say that about him. Naruto makes a face at Ino who makes a face back and takes another sip of her beer. Sasuke hums, yes. My father entrusted Naruto to care for me years ago after Orochimaru had first kidnapped me. Wait, what? Naruto blinks in confusion. I don't remember him saying anything like that. In the hospital when he visited you. He decided and you were integrated into the clan after that. Naruto thinks it over. That makes sense? Damn, I really missed that. Sasuke nods against him. I'm glad he did. Wait. Ino holds up her hands. So your dad decided you would marry Naruto back then? No, just that he could trust Naruto. Sasuke says. She knows her father hadn't made the decision then, but he had begun to think about it then. He knew that they were close and he knew Naruto had the potential to be incredibly, terrifying strong one day if the way he had fought Orochimaru was any indication. He also knew that Naruto would do anything for Sasuke. It had been a good start for her father to decide. Neji looks thoughtful. The Uchiha and Hyuga are often said to be similar, but the Uchiha in fact seem to have many different traditions and attitudes. It's interesting. Neji looks down at his hands. It's kind of romantic. Tenten says, for a shinobi clan's central thing to be about love. Naruto nods rapidly. Yeah. I mean, Itachi and Shisui have already given me loads of lessons in Uchiha stuff. It's really cool. Sasuke shrugs. For the Uchiha family is the most important thing, and your romantic partner is someone you are willingly choosing as family. So I guess marriage is really important to the Uchiha. Tenten remarks. Naruto nods. Yeah, marriage is super important, and it's like, he thinks about a way to phrase it, like the Uchiha are really proper, you know? But with your partner it's like you can do whatever you want. Naruto scrunches his nose up then because he doesn't think that made much sense. Well, how do you personally feel about marriage? Choji asks. It's a big decision. Sasuke shrugs again then, she twists in Naruto's arms. Orochimaru tried to marry me off once. She says very casually. All at once everyone becomes very tense. What? Naruto asks. His whisker marks get a little deeper with his anger and Sasuke huffs a little laugh, reaching up to pat his cheek. It wasn't serious. He announced to Otto that if anyone wanted to marry me they could go into the pits and the overall winner could have me. It was just a game for him. Naruto snarls and his arms tighten around her. Sasuke shrugs out of his hold. It was alright. It ended up being quite, well, he found it very funny. She decides on saying. No one looks any less tense. When there was a winner they looked very proud of themselves, but then Orochimaru told them that they had one last person to beat, and that was me. There's silence for a second before. What are the pits? Shikamaru's eyes are sharp. The fighting pits. If you could survive long enough, Orochimaru would give you a curse mark and you would be one of his personal servants. That's barbaric, Lee says, looking rather upset. Sasuke hums but doesn't say anything in response. Instead she snuggles more deeply into Naruto's embrace. Many things about the shinobi life are barbaric. She finally decides on saying, happiness can be very rare. Naruto makes me happy, so I want to keep him close forever. Marriage isn't scary to me. There's a more considering pause at that because, well, who could argue with that? 2 days before the wedding Naruto wakes up in the middle of the night and Sasuke is gone. He searches for her chakra. They aren't supposed to sleep together before the wedding, so she's been staying at the main house while he's been in the new house they'll move into after the wedding and can't feel it at the Uchiha compound. Weird. He focuses and picks out Shisui's familiar glow-in at the Hokage's tower. Tsunade Ba-chan had asked him what he thought of Shisui after the last mission, and he had told her that he thought Shisui was great and really cool. Now Shisui is always at the tower and there's talk of him being the next Hokage. Auntie Makoto and Uncle Fugaku are both in the main house and Itachi is out on a mission, so not in the village. He then checks on each one of their friends and find them where they're supposed to be, but there's still no Sasuke. Naruto settles into sage mode and expands his senses as wide as he can. There, in the forest of death, he catches a flicker of her familiar chakra. Naruto flickers away into the dark night. When he finally reaches Sasuke, he finds she isn't alone. The Kyuubi's cloak comes around him in a second and he can hear Kurama snarling inside of him. What the fuck are you doing here? Naruto hisses. His body angles to shield Sasuke from view. I was just congratulating the Sharinganheim on her upcoming nuptials. Orochimaru smiles and it looks, not quite evil and not quite insincere. But this is Orochimaru and he's the one man Naruto hates down to his very bones. Before Naruto can kill him, Sasuke puts a hand on his arm and pushes him back. "Anata, it's alright." Naruto stops then because Sasuke's never referred to him that way before and it throws him for a lovesick loop. "Ah, young love." Orochimaru hums, the power couple of the shinobi world. "I wish you luck. You're not leaving." Naruto snarls then. "I'm taking you down." But once again Sasuke holds his arm. She turns to Orochimaru. "You took me from my family for years. You owe me." Orochimaru's head tilts. "I made you stronger. And I would have been strong if I had stayed. You stunted me." Sasuke's voice is bland, almost uninterested despite what she's saying. "Apologies, princess. What do you want for your favor then?" "I don't know yet." Sasuke says, "But you owe me." Very well, I suppose." Orochimaru's eyes glint in the dark. "I'll take my leave now." And with barely a blink he's gone. Naruto rounds on Sasuke. "Sasuke, what was that? He just left. He's dangerous and he took you and..." "It's alright, Naruto." Sasuke's eyes fix on the middle distance. "He won't hurt us." "He already has." Naruto throws his hands up, frustrated. "Why the hell would you let him talk to you alone and then just leave? He doesn't want my body anymore." Sasuke says, "But he put a lot of effort into molding me into the person I am now. He cares in his own strange way, as much as he is able to. He was being honest. And he's still strong and powerful. We may need his help one day. I'm the strongest shinobi alive." Naruto mutters a little petulantly, "You have me." "Yes. But I would do anything to protect you, and that includes making a deal with Orochimaru. It's better for him to owe me this way." Sasuke smiles at him, small and sincere. He would rather be part of our lives in this way than never get another look in. He's interested in us. We should let him have that if it means he will help us later when we need it. Naruto chews his lip. "I don't really get it and I still hate him for taking you. But if you think it's a good idea then I trust you."
That's all for now. If you want to see next part, then please like this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.